And welcome back to Matter Academy East. Here it is a very windy afternoon here at Matter Academy as we're getting ready to set game 2 between Las Vegas Sickwidit and the Las Vegas Hunters. Welcome back. Anthony Alvarez here along with Chris Vera. And we have a very interesting game here between the Insomniacs and the Hunters, Chris. Obviously, the Insomniacs trying to maintain and keep their second slot here in the position here in A7FL Nevada. And for the Hunters, trying to build any kind of possible momentum they possibly can in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the biggest thing for this for me is watching these guys. And I'm a little surprised about the wind picking up as much as it did. In the first game, it was almost non-existent. Now we got some pretty good breezes. But from what I've seen from these two quarterbacks, I don't think the wind is going to be an issue.
All right. And that looks like Shyvon Richardson back to receive the 3-on-1 throw-off. And I'll tell you what, Shyvon should be a very high considerate for Rookie of the Year.
I would agree.
In our league. He has had a fantastic rookie season, becoming a very vital combination with, of course, the great Darren Palmer. We are set to go, and Vaughn is going to take it from about the 2-yard line. He's across the 25. He's across the 30, 35, and brought down at the 36-yard line. And that's where Sickwidit will have their first possession of the afternoon.
Almost looked like an ankle tackle.
Now,
and
a late flag, yeah. There is some mustard on the grass.
I couldn't see it. I don't know what the call is. 'Cause, I mean, realistically, it couldn't. I wouldn't think it would be against Sick. Because I mean, unless he got up and threw the ball at somebody, which we got a personal foul. Oh, it's going to be on the defense.
It's on the defense.
So it's 15-yard adder.
Well, one thing, I mean, we talk about this, and it doesn't matter in any sport. Like in baseball, you never want to give a team an extra out. In football, you never want to give the good teams an extra down. Because 9 times out of 10, normally it will come back and bite you and does not bite you very good.
Well, in this case, it's all about field position.
Correct. And now you're at literally the midfield stripe. So now you're giving Sickwidit half a field.
Right. And right now, I see these guys. Both corners are backed off pretty well.
I don't know why. That's a give to Devin Houston. Devin Houston up the middle. Devin Houston gets to the 40-yard line.
And looks like he's got a first down.
And looks like he has a first down. Yes, indeed. Move the chains.
Now, I would say that during this game, we're going to see Sickwidit try to impose their will.
I would agree.
And I think that will right now is the will that they want to be able to establish a run and get some play action.
Robert Hines Bino just declared himself eligible. And that's back to Devin Houston coming right now, and a great ball on the ground, and the Hunters pick up the fumble, and coming down the sideline with the ball
that was
Dante Banks. That came up with the fumble, and so Sickwidit, unlikely, forcing a fumble, and the Hunters will try to
take advantage of this.
Yeah.
And they're going to need to, because I can tell you right now, that is not going to stand, and that's not going to be the regular play of Sickwidit. So if they could take a 6-0 or an 8-0 lead right here, it would definitely help them out.
I would agree.
But I mean, we got to see, and it looks like looks like Mr. Smith is playing
Mr.
quarterback.
Smith, wearing the for now, the West Sacramento A's cap.
Yeah, I don't know how long they'll let him go with that on his head, but we'll see what happens.
Anything's possible.
Right.
Savion in motion. Smith back to throw. Looking, taking the shot deep. Going for Savion. Savion off his hands. Incomplete.
Savion jumped too soon.
Oh, Savion.
And the thing about it is, if you are a wide receiver, you see that kind of play.
Yeah.
One thing that I would always tell him: run through it. Don't jump for it. Because if he would have just kept on his horse, that would have been a pass that he catches very easily over his shoulder.
Because I mean, Greg is going to put it on the money.
Exactly. And he just did. It's a great pass, great play, terrible outcome.
Yeah. And if Savion catches that, he's to the end zone.
I would agree. I mean, you had the closest defender was laying on the ground.
Agreed.
And you got Palmer playing in his natural position.
Yes, he was a defensive back at UNLV. And a give, and nope.
That went nowhere.
That went nowhere, and that was big Rohan Walters, formerly of the Force, making the stop.
And that man can play some football.
Yes, he can.
He has got what I would want in most big men, which is sweet feet.
Yeah. Trying to see what that was on the carry. It looks like that would not. Trying to see who it was on the carry. Trying to get a number here.
Yeah, I can't see his number from here.
Empty backfield. Smith rolling out to his right over the middle.
Again, too high.
Too high for Savion Cunningham.
I'm trying to see if that was number 12. It's hard to see.
Yeah,
his
Spencer
number.
Hall
Yep,
is number 12.
That's who just had the ball.
All right. 3rd down and 12. I'm sorry, 4th down for the Hunters. And realistically, I would throw this ball off and surrender it, but again, I am not coaching. I am just merely a aspiring sports broadcaster.
Well, I mean, realistically, it is the right move, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, which is a realistically field position play right now.
Play the field,
we see who's going back out to return this.
Oh, yeah.
That is dangerous.
That is Mr. Shyvon Richardson. Von Richardson, who's had himself a fantastic rookie year here in the A7FL. As Sickwidit comes in here with a 3-1 record. 3-1. 3-1 on the season.
Yes.
Their only loss, of course, came to the defending back-to-back champions, the Insomniacs.
Looks like the Hunters got it kind of sorted out as far as who's going to be on this return.
Charles Johnson will throw it off.
And he's got an arm. I mean,
yes, he does.
We saw what he was able to do from a little bit further. See what he's able to do on this.
And alertly will throw it out of the end zone, out of bounds.
Yep.
And Sick will have possession at the 20-yard line. This time looking to take care of the football as they fumbled on their first possession, which is very rare to see from Sick. So,
I mean,
if we're looking at best records in the league, obviously the Trenton BIC still have the best record. They're 5-0 on the bye week. The Watchmen coming in at 4-1. Insomniacs at 4-0, of course, lead the West. Sickwidit at 3-1. Animals on the way to 4-1 as they're up 27-6 in New Jersey over the Hawks. Last we checked, the Crush were beating the Heathens.
I still can't find that game, but that's all right. We'll see what it turns out to be.
And a give back to Devin Houston coming left. Devin Houston has a first down. Devin Houston to the 35-yard line. You know,
he puts his foot in the ground and he goes.
I've often wondered why Sick would not utilize Devin Houston more in the run game. Maybe today is the day that they possibly might do that.
Well, he's got the speed and he can play. So I'm kind of surprised that they don't use him more and they don't run with him a lot more.
Yeah, I agree.
And not to mention his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield.
That too, absolutely.
Because, I mean, you see him lined up, and I was just going to say, and look where he's lined up now.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver, so you know he can do it.
Yeah. Empty backfield. Ball at the 35-yard line. Sick on their second possession as the big oos, Mr. Josiah Sow, has arrived. Palmer in motion. Stone King back to throw. Great protection. Stone King going to step up, and he's got a whole bunch of green ahead of him. And Kenyon Stone King inside the 35, out of bounds inside the 30.
Oh, that's a hit on the quarterback.
And that's a late hit. And that's going to give him 15 more after the fact.
You're looking at this ball being someplace close to the
half the distance
10,
at least.
Well, it's going to be close to the 10-yard line, if not past it. I mean, I understand that the blocker pushed him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to avoid contact.
Yeah, because he was way clearly out of bounds before the hit happened.
I would agree with you on that.
Maybe even at halftime. Pictures of those at halftime.
All right, 9.5 to go. As now the ball has been spotted at the...
Oh, it looks like they pick up the flag.
The 28-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like they pick up the flag. It looks like they
again,
were
empty
talking.
backfield.
Yep.
Sick on their second possession after the Hunters forced a fumble, but the Hunters could not turn that into points. Stone King back to throw, great protection, going for Shyvon Richardson.
Wide open.
Beautiful
Touchdown.
pass, touchdown, Sickwidit. Oh, what a play, what a throw.
What was interesting for me on that play, and if you watch a replay, you'll see Stone King turn to his look at his play call sheet on his wrist, turn to his wide receiver and tell him a different route to run. So he saw something in the defense.
Well, that was a beautifully, perfectly thrown football and a great way by Von Richardson to just run under it to get Sick on the board. All right, 9:12 to go here in the first quarter.
Looks like they're going for 2.
Looks like they're going for 2, trying to make this 8. They got 3 receivers, Murphy, Richardson, and Palmer. Again, empty backfield.
Again, the quick slant from the single side would work.
Back to
He's
throw.
gotta
Stone
step up.
King looking for Palmer, incomplete.
Just a little behind him.
So with 9:12 to go here in the first period, it is the score, Sickwidit 6, Hunters nothing. You are watching the A7FL Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the Game of the Week. It is 6-0 Sickwidit on a Kenyon Stone King touchdown pass to Shyvon Richardson, who continues to thrive in his rookie season here in the A7FL. As looking at the locker room chat, well, needs an update. So I'll get to the chat in just a second, folks.
Here's the throw off.
And that is, trying to see what that is. It looks like it's Cacho.
Savion.
No, it's Savion. I'm sorry. And Savion Cunningham, and a touchdown saving tackle by Deion Southern.
It is amazing how much speed this kid has when he's returning.
Yeah.
We know without a shadow of a doubt, Southern has some speed.
Yes.
But for him to have to almost dive at him
Yes.
to get that tackle should tell you everything you need to know.
But however, a good return by Savion Cunningham, and that's where the Hunters will take their second possession in plus territory at the 40-yard line.
And the Hunters, the fact of the matter is they look decent on their first possession. Let's see what they could do with this one.
Lady Sick 8, a.k.a. Mrs. Palmer, how do we sound now? Smith back to throw. Pass is caught, and that is caught by... That looks like a Hicks.
Mr. Johnson?
No, that looks like a Hicks.
Yep.
It is... No, that's caught by Cook, Tyrese Cook, that made the catch, number 16. So, Mrs. Palmer, is it not pixelated and choppy? Do we sound better? Thank you, ma'am, for verifying.
A lot better. Good.
All right. Here's Smith back to throw. Here comes the mighty Quinn.
He's got him, and did
Yeah,
he get rid of the ball? That's the question mark.
That's the question mark.
Yep, they're saying that he got rid of it.
So it's not a sack, but the mighty Quinn was right there applying pressure.
But the question mark is, did he throw the ball? Did it get back to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, it went past the line of scrimmage. It did.
Then why are they backing him up?
I think that's just Coach James with the marker being the referee. No,
I think they backed. I think they called it a sack.
They're going to call it a sack?
Yep.
Well, they are. So it is going to be a sack for the mighty Quinn. Ball at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, this microphone's picking up a whole lot.
Yes, it is. Somebody give the baby a nap or give her some milk.
Right? She is not happy camper.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Of course, you being a girl dad, you would know that, Chris.
Yes. But my daughter's never screamed like
Smith
that. Anyway.
going deep. Oh. Incomplete, looking for...
He thinks
Don't know if that's... Yeah, that is Cook. Tyrese Cook was the intended receiver. He wanted a flag, but Deion Sullivan was right there with him in coverage.
Yeah, he's not going to get that flag. It wasn't a arm bar.
And that sets up 4th down for the Hunters. They have to get to the 30 for a first down. Now, I was in the locker room chat trying to answer a question as Go Bulls 07 asks, why did they get rid of the YouTube chat? Go Bulls 07, I don't know that's above my pay grade, buddy. I don't know why they got rid of the YouTube chat. That's something you would have to ask the league for. I don't know. I've wondered and have asked that question myself, but I don't know, sir. But if you do have the locker room chat, glad you're with us. Smith running for his life, and Matt Murphy sacks him, and Sickwidit will get the ball at the 40.
Now, this is where this gets a little interesting because are we going to see Sickwidit go up either 12 to 14 points right here?
Mm-hmm. We'll take this break. You're watching the A7FL Game of the Week. And welcome back to the Game of the Week here in Matter Academy East. It is Sickwidit 4-6. Hunters nothing. Iquan coursing in the backfield alongside Kenyon Stone King. Palmer comes in motion. And Stone King's going to keep it. That was a botched play. But Stone King close to a first down, knocked out of bounds. Definitely, I don't think that was the play that was called, but nonetheless, a positive gain for Kenyon Stone King on the run. As if you look at the replay here,
I'm not gonna lie, he looked like
deer in the headlights.
Well, no, I'll say it after this.
All right, but still a positive gain. 2nd down and 2. And that is Coursey. Coursey going left, cuts back in the middle. Coursey has the first down, gets inside the 30, gets to about to the 27-yard line. Go ahead and share your thought.
He looked like Falco in The Replacement.
Oh, not exactly the best-looking RPO, but he still got 8 yards out of it.
When he turns and goes,
Oh, yes, one of the great football movies.
Yes.
With the late, great Gene Hackman. 5.5 to go, 6-0 Sickwidit. Glad you're with us here on the Game of the Week. Anthony Alvarez and Chris Vera with you live here at a very windy but sunny, with some clouds, Matter Academy East. All right, Stone King empty backfield. Pass, caught, Coursey. Corsi cuts inside. First down. Iquan Corsi inside the 15.
Looks like he got the first down on that
And
play.
looks like to be another Sickwidit first down. All right, under 5 to go. And definitely looking outside and just looking at the flags on the goalpost and the flags on the flagpole, the state flag and the United States flag. Wind is picking up. Again, empty backfield. Stone King looking, throwing.
Got a man open.
Guess who? Nice catch. Darren Palmer just outside the 1 yard line sets up first and goal. Sickwidit at the 1 yard line.
First down, first and goal for Sickwidit.
So for this next play right here, realistically, the way that
Great camera view.
Sick has been playing, I think that this is going to be
Great camera view.
This is going to be a dive up the middle.
Oh, that's a great camera. Whoop. All right. And of course, Lady Sick 8 standing by her man, rightfully so. As she says, let's go. Corsi in the
Step up a little
backfield. It is Richardson and Palmer, the wide receivers.
Quick slant either side.
No,
Nope,
it's
it's a dive
Corsi
up the middle.
straight up the middle. Touchdown, Sickwidit. Iquan Corsi gets it in.
Touchdown, Sickwidit. Your score now.
And it's now 12-0 Sick. As Stone King more so using his legs on this drive, more so than his arm. And the run game with Iquan Corsi being a big factor. All right, 3:47 to go. And Sick will try to make this 14 as they will do the Scott McCorkle rule, which is go for 2, of course, according to the football vocabulary of one Scott McCorkle. Trips near side.
Here we go.
Stone King looking, throwing back of the end zone. And there is Shivon Richardson
We
that
got
makes
a
the
penalty
grab.
flag. We got cheating, holding.
We got a flag on the play, and it's coming
on
back.
Offense.
So we will try it again at the...
Cheating on the white team. Replay that down.
We will replay the try from the 15.
Everybody's stealing my thunder. Stealing my thunder. See how you guys are?
But you never said cheating on the white team like Derek did. That was creative. Very creative.
I can say a lot about that, but I'll let it go.
I'm sure you could. All right, so from the 15-yard line, or from the 20, they will try for 2 again. Stone King back to throw, going to the end zone, looking for Richardson again.
A little far, but
Incomplete.
we got an penalty flag down, and I think we're going to get cheating
Yep.
on the gray team.
Cheating on the team in scarlet and gray. So we will try this attempt again. All right, so they were at the 20, so we'll bring it back to the original line of scrimmage for the conversion, the 10-yard line. So, no,
that's
the 5.
a 15. That's a 15
the 5. I'm
yarder,
sorry.
yes.
No, from the
Oh, it was in
from
the
the
end
1.
zone.
It was in the end zone. Half the distance.
Yep.
Okay. So, third time is a charm for this 2-point conversion attempt for Sickwidit.
Hey, you know what? The more championship points.
Yeah, they matter.
Yes, they do.
Of course, said by Big Rob Fabian.
More so than most.
Absolutely.
Especially when you don't know the way a game is going to go.
That's true, too. All right. And that is Devin Houston. He's
Walks
in the end
in.
zone for the 2-point conversion. No, I'm sorry. That is that's Arnie Hansen, number 11.
Yep.
So with 3:47 to go, you are watching the game of the week between Sickwidit and the Hunters.
For the 3-on-1 throw.
Good afternoon. If you're wondering what's going on, your screen is not in need of adjustment. It's 14-0 on the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. This game started a little early, so we're catching up in real time. Iquan Corsi just ran it in for Sickwidit to make it 14-0, but it's the most exciting play in football to kick us off on the Games of the Week, and it's going to get a little more exciting on a dead ball run here, as the Hunters will have number 24, Aston Cacho, a.k.a. Bucacho. Which I think is a small coffee shop in Williamsburg.
Something, right? Am I tripping? It has to be a coffee shop.
Bucacho Camacho.
Yeah. Nice one, guy.
But it will be Cacho running from the 25-yard line on a dead ball play. That means the clock will not run. It's our version of the kickoff and punt here in the A7FL.
Let's see what he got.
Young man will make it from the 25. As we have some technical difficulties here, we apologize. As we wait for the throw-off.
He's probably just moving that fast, man.
Yeah, probably. And we apologize for the technical difficulties, everybody. There's Big Rob. I'm Matt Ryan, and we're live on the A7FL Games of the Week. If you're just joining us, if you missed our first game of the day, the Animals got the win over the Old Bridge Hawks, 27-12. An impressive day from CJ Chris Johnson, who stepped in, Rob,
Very good day.
Stepped in for David Tender, who did not have what he needed to play today. His ankle was still a little banged up, so what we get from him right now is his backup. But Johnson had an effective day, Rob.
100%. Again, like I said earlier, Johnson showed that he really was one of those guys back in the day. Like, I used to block for him. So I know. I was part of one of the most dynamic teams when Chris Johnson was quarterback. So everything that we saw today is what I expected from him. We also learned that these guys have a lot of depth. And I'd be very nervous dealing with a team like that.
And we're back to live action, 14-0 your score. It'll be 1st and 10 after the Hawks. Second and 9 after the Hunters on the throw-off. They got to the 45, and a big opportunity here. That's number 12 on an angry carry. That's Spencer Hall. But not enough to get past that initial. That was Matthew Wilson on the carry.
I'm going to do something rare, Matt. I'm going to do something very rare.
Really?
Yes. I actually like Sickwidit.
Ooh.
I actually think they're a pretty good team. And I actually think if they were on the East Coast, they would win a good amount of games.
I feel like they would be in the conversation with the top 5 or
top
so
5,
team. Yeah.
Guaranteed. Sickwidit, the way they rush to the ball, their size, their speed, their tenacity, Sickwidit is top 5 and arguably top 3.
You can them against in the Final Four. If we end up seeing them play the BIC or the Animals or the Watchmen, however the playoffs break out, a timeout called, I believe, by the Hunters. Their first charge timeout of the afternoon, and Rob.
I like Sickwidit.
Yeah, no, they're a fantastic squad. They're a team that can make a lot of noise in no matter what division. They just, outside of that one win against the Insomniacs last season in big games, have not been able to turn the tide. And you wonder what that effect is going to be once we see them play against the East.
And I gotta say, I feel like more so this season than maybe any other, I would love to see them go up against the East because I think they have a chance. I don't think the East is free in the sense of it's an easy win. I just think the East is competing at such a high level. None of these teams are going to be 100% when they get to the playoffs against a team like Sickwidit, who most likely will be closer to 100 than any of our East Coast teams.
I can see that, and they play a style of football that is somewhat similar. Rolls out to his right, in trouble. The throw incomplete.
Phenomenal pressure. These guys, they're tenacious. I like the energy from Sickwidit. I don't like that they're always losing to the Insomniacs, but I do like the tenacity of these young men. And I think they can compete on the East Coast hands down.
And here on a 4th down opportunity, their defense has certainly showed that they can keep anybody. And Greg Smith in at quarterback, the man formerly known as Snoop, stepping in there and getting not happy with how this Hunters offense has been able to fight against the Sickwidit defense today, Rob.
Yeah, not happy at all. You can see it in his walk where he tosses the ball. Yeah, he's not happy. But again, you're going against Sickwidit. It's unfortunately, when you're not dealing with the Insomniacs, the next name you have to say is these guys, Sickwidit. They're as good as advertised, and they will dominate just as bad, if not equal to, the Insomniacs. It's not an easy game because it's not the Insomniacs. Sickwidit is, they're very, I don't know. I'm not going to disrespect the two-time champs by comparing anyone to them. I just think these guys are a valid number 2 in the West Coast.
And on the punt on 4th down, they surrender the ball back to Sickwidit, and it'll be a 1st and 10. We'll see where they spot the ball as that one gets thrown out of bounds. And as we get closer to the national playoffs, the Animals showed today that they have the depth to rotate guys in and out. Sure. CJ, in a rare start for him, showed he had a real good control of this offense, utilizing Omari Thomas a lot more than we've seen so far this season. He had 70 yards on the ground in the first quarter and a half.
Very scary. I'm telling you, that depth by itself it showed me a lot about what those guys could do.
And now
I'm very interested to see how this Sickwidit offense looks with a much bigger field. Okay, play action.
They okey-doke the cameraman, and Stone King tried to get it to the big, thick cut down, the check down man. So it's TBS here in the A7FL. I
was trying to see Stone King's progression, his quarterback progression, to see what he's looking at. Camera moved out the way, but he rolled out. I do also want to see if he has the speed that it looks like he has. He just looks like the type of quarterback. He looks like
he's got a couple of different gears in him. We've seen some really solid highlights out of him so far this season. He had to step in for Jeremy Geary. And he was a quarterback. Yeah, for those who are just joining us and this is their first time getting a look at Sickwidit. First 2 seasons they were in the A7FL. Their first season, a lot of people thought they were going to run away with the Western Conference before the Insomniacs loaded up and loaded out to win their first of 2 back-to-back titles. But Stone King on 2nd and 10. He will just keep it in here. You see the run, and there's the toss back to Corsi. Not able to go there as we come to you from the grassy knoll inside Matter Academy. A player down. That's Stone King. Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. As we get that live PD perspective.
Also have to admit that Sickwidit probably has one of the best A7FL names in the entire history of A7FL.
It is.
I will never admit it again. I will never admit it again. This is the only time. If you don't record it now, it never happens. Sorry, it's over.
And 1 second left to go in the first 14-0 your score. It's a windy day across the A7FL.
Yeah, wow.
And let's talk about some of the upset on the day as the Heathens fall to the Octane. That's gonna does that give the Octane some top 7 votes, Rob? That's the interesting thing. The final 2 weeks of the top 7 coming out of this are going to shift the apple cart. I wonder if the Animals lose points this week. They get the win, but despite everything.
No, not too many. I mean, they'll lose points, but anybody who's playing football is under. I mean, there's other teams that's going to lose way more points than the Animals will, But you see, they benched their starters and showed us what their depth looks like, and they were still able to score a healthy amount of points against the Hawks. Right now, the Heathens losing is a little bit of a curveball, like it throws things off.
That was the one thing I don't think many people expect. We were initially going to call that game at 1 o'clock today. Schedule did a little bit of a switcheroo, but we got you a great game between the Hawks and the Animals. But the one thing that surprises me out of that is that the Octane defense have been on the back foot a lot this season, but they must have had the right kind of rush attack to stop Burrows, to stop Patrick Dean.
I'm very interested in what the story of that game was, because I can't imagine good teams being able to stop Burrows' combination of run and pass and having to tackle that guy head up. So I'm very curious. I wish I could have watched the game. I'm very curious as to how these guys lost.
And it'll be Corsi walking up to the line at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with more after this. We're back live with the A7FL Games of the Week. Get more protected with the Gator Skin Shiesty. Use the code A7FL25 to get 10% off or scan that QR code. You can see it right there, big on the screen right now, 1st and 10. And that's Corsi on the run. Iquan Corsi rocking the Shiesty, getting the Gator Skin, getting the first down.
Nice run. Nice quarterback run. You know, I'm a huge fan of those. They're giving it to him, though. I mean, if it's that open, you have to take it.
And if you want to get that Gator Skin Shiesty that's shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%, scan that QR code right now or go to G8R Tech. You can read it so big right there on the screen. Use the code A7FL25. As we are at the start of the second quarter, we'll get an updated time for you. Corsi launches this one deep downfield, intended for Darren Palmer. Palmer not able to get there. It'll be 3rd down.
You just out through Darren Palmer like he's not some
Second down,
speed
partner.
demon. That young man can get under a pass. So that is an arm.
Oh, pardon me. That's number 14, Richardson, who's as fast as DP.
Right. Okay, I'm about to say Darren. I'm throwing Darren Palmer.
I see a long run downfield in a Sickwidit uniform. It's usually Stone King the Palmer.
Gotta be.
But Corsi launched a rocket there. Stone King back in under center.
These guys have pirate names.
Yar. Stone King be behind center there, Rob. It'd be 2nd and 10. Corsi in motion. Snaps the ball. I'm just going to do this now. Stone King underneath. Gets the catch. Bring him down. Shiver me timbers, Robert Boyle.
Wow. And that was a good hit because he eased up. He could have did a lot worse than that. He made the form tackle hit. So that was really good, but wow. Very dangerous throw. Not a fan of the throw.
It's a risky throw or risky play. 13:34 left to go in the half. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And big opportunity here for Sickwidit to increase their lead up 14-0. Stone King sets a man in motion. That's Palmer, and Darren Palmer will run outside. He will get the edge. He will get Bono. He will get all of you two and the first down as they matriculate the ball downfield. Sickwidit continuing to show the Swiss Army knife ability of their offense, having guys doing different things at different times.
Very simple play call. I'm really trying to get a handle on who this quarterback is and what his style is, what he likes to do. I'm seeing it, but I still need a little bit more data.
And we will compile that data because Rob, you and I are riding out this whole broadcast. We'll be riding with you until 7 p.m. tonight. 3rd and 3. The snap. Stone King on 3rd down. Gets that catch to Richardson.
Oh,
Richardson hits the B button. Mama say, Mama saw, Mama said knock you out. Touchdown, Sickwidit.
Again, Stone King. Oh, nice. I like that celebration. Stone King.
He can sling the pill.
Yeah, like I'm seeing it. Like a lot of options there. He was on the bench for?
No, this is his first season. Rookie pickup, rookie season. It just seems like whoever's behind center for Sickwidit, they've got all the time in the world. They can do the crossword puzzle. They can do a Wordle. They might be able to do the other New York Times Magazine related games. Just a nice Sunday in the breakfast nook. That's what you should call the offensive line of Sickwidit. They're a breakfast nook. Just hang out there all morning, just having some coffee, enjoying yourself. And we're enjoying our time with you here on the A7FL Games of the Week. It's chow time here in Las Vegas. 12:15 left to go. Going for the extra point. 2 from the 10. Stone King underneath gets the play. Can they get the points? Yeah, they give it to him.
He's in. And Stone King he's just poised in that pocket. Like he does see it all, being as tall as he is. He sees it. He drops back, just a little bit pressure in his face, and just delivers a strike to a big fella that's not going to be denied in the end zone by anyone under 200 pounds. So good luck with that.
It's a TBS extra there, and we're not talking about the Turner Broadcasting System. We're talking about Thick Boy season here in the A7FL. And that was number 96 on the catch.
Wow.
That's not a jersey you usually see, but folks, if you see this if you see the QR code now and you want to unlock the cameras and unlock the interactive capabilities of your video, go to a7fl.tv, see what Scene can do for you and your business. Scan the QR code now and join Scene to unlock the monetization in your videos now. 22-0 your score, 12:15 left in the second. A beautiful day in Las Vegas. You see the mountains there, beautiful vistas, and now the Hunters on an untimed down looking to make some beauty themselves. And number 16 trying to battle through it. That is Tyrese Cook, a.k.a. Louis V, but he gets belted by the Sickwidit 3-on-1 stoppage team, and we will see Greg Smith and company try to get Hunters on the board.
I'm trying to understand why the Hunters can't move the ball. Talking about 0-22, and what's his name? Snoop, right? This is Snoop.
Yeah, Greg Smith, formerly of the North Vegas Kryptonite in the first fall brawl, when we got a real look at the future of A7FL Nevada just over 2.5 years ago. At this point, Greg Smith and the Kryptonite were one of the more talked about teams coming out of that season.
Definitely were.
But the Insomniacs and Sickwidit showed up and completely turned the league on its ear. The Insomniacs at the top of the heap in the Western Conference. They will be back in action next week. If you want to learn more about the schedule, go to a7fl.com/schedule. Smith.
Backstacking. He went right after him.
And that's number 16. Again, Tyrese Cook. Gets cooked by the defense, goes about 7 yards back.
Matt, I got to ask the question, is the backstack over?
I feel like the backstack, it's one of those things where defenses have adjusted.
Right.
Kind of like the Baltimore special in our league where you have that one wide receiver just randomly in a spot on the field. I think more defenses have become more cognizant of it. And you really need, and it's a copycat league. All leagues are copycat leagues. Once you see something's working, you're going to try it for yourself, which is why we didn't see the Snow Tribe formation all that much. But
Gotta work.
On second down, Smith underneath. The catch is made, but they will only get about 2, and it'll be 3rd and 15. Not what you want if you're the Hunters. Again, that's Charles Johnson, not CJ from before, a different Charles Johnson on the reception.
Yeah, you definitely, like you said, it is 100% a copycat league. And if it looks like it works, any quarterback with a brain wants to try it. So I get that. But like you said, we've seen it enough.
And here we go on 3rd and 15. Smith slings it, and that one intended to the phantom zone. Looked like it was going to number 16, Tyrese Cook. Could not make the play, so it will be 4th down.
Yeah, I think they've seen it enough, and I think it's time to bring something else out. I think I don't know. I think it's a tired formation. Even Corey Hammond used it today twice, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was, once with Bebo and once with somebody else, if I'm remembering correctly. You'll be able to watch that game on demand on A7FL.tv and across the A7FL network. If you're watching us now on Fox Soul, if you're watching us on Fight 24/7 or Triller TV Plus, we're so glad you're spending your Sunday with us, especially internationally on DAZN. We're so glad you're joining us here. It'll be 4th and 15. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Earlier in the day, the Silver State Stealth and the Indianapolis Octane got big wins, and so did the Silk City Animals, as they will go to 5-1 on the season. And the Hunters will surrender to this one back to Sick with 9:37 left to go in the half. Dangerous untimed down, but much like a punt in traditional football, if this one ends up out of play, it'll be down where it's called, but that is a live ball. Richardson will pick it up. Siobhan Richardson gets around one defender, cannot get past him the second time.
Almost hussed his way out of that one.
Almost hussed the defense out of his shoes, but when we return, Sickwidit gets the ball back, and we will bring a little bit closer to halftime. 22-0's your score. What can Stone King and company do next? Find out after the break. It's the Games of the Week. We're back live on the A7FL Games of the Week, and this one's brought to you by Scene and TPG Sports. Go to tpg-sports.com. That's tpg-sports.com. Get yourself custom athletic uniforms for athletes of all sports and all ages, including a custom A7FL uniform. That's tpg-sports.com. And running through Matt Murphy. Almost got that ball stripped out, but they will call him down. It'll be 2nd down.
If I didn't know any better, it looked like a face mask call because of the way he was. But I'm guessing he really had his hand on the football and was like tugging down. In order to protect the football, he went down too. But that looked so crazy. I'm like, why is he falling forward like that? Interesting.
Well, either way, it gives them 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6. Just the big bodies on this Sickwidit offensive line.
Yeah, these guys they're some big guys.
Watch Palmer. Right there, Matt Murphy set up to the right of Stone King.
Oh, they watching Palmer.
Keep it. Stone King with time throws it, and he cannot keep track of that one. Ends up took us over tea kettle. Is Darren Palmer, but it'll be 3rd down. And Sickwidit, they're able to make stuff happen there. That's just an interchange problem. And on third down, just the opportunity the Hunters need. They need a stop here on third down. Try to get some momentum back as Sickwidit, coming off the holiday week bye, look to make a strong impression heading into the national playoffs. They hand off to Murphy. Murphy cuts through like a hot knife through butter. Gets to the 49.
Great hit on him.
And getting in his push-ups, number 24.
What a run.
That was a solid run there by Matt Murphy. They have the bodies to create some anarchy. And there you see the big man, Sal.
Yeah, stay away from him. You seen the videos I've been sending to A7 page. That's him.
Chewing on the defense. The snap in the screen, that's to Darren Palmer. Palmer will get to the 40, a little bit of no us.
A little flag on the field.
As he tried to fry that defense there, Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, 22-0 your score. And I want to thank Corey Hammond for calling me while I'm on national television. But I will hang up on him now and tell him I love him. We'll see what Matt, the flag is.
250 yards throwing, man. All right, Corey, you got it.
No need to account for the discord on a chaotic day. A sideline foul. Try to get an understanding of what that was.
Huh?
I almost did, but Matt Murphy and company taking a step back that fell. And we'll hope to get an understanding of what that call was. That's I believe that's an unsportsmanlike.
Gotta be, but I'm lost. I'm wondering what happened.
It's the Stone King and company. I see those golf carts back there, and I'm like, theoretically, if you hike the ball and the golf cart is still technically inbounds, can you use the golf cart?
Yes.
First and 25. They may need the golf cart here. Toss to the big man. That's Sal. Thick boy season in the A7FL and number 57. Not a number you usually hear called on a pass play, but the big man coming off as a tight end, moving it downfield. It'll be 2nd and 13. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct on Sickwidit.
Okay. Listen, I've seen those videos with guys that look just like Sal running at each other. Full speed, full contact, and someone's going to get knocked on their butt. I'm not running in front of Sal at all.
You know what I'm doing? I am saying, hello, sir. I am maitre d'-ing again. I am showing him to his table and showing him the wine list.
Olé. Go.
We have a lovely Riesling this evening, if you want a cab, and there's the handoff to Murphy. And Murphy showing that he is a vintage all his own on 2nd and 13. Almost gets the ball taken out. And that, almost a couple of times here where Sickwidit's protection of the football has nearly cost them, but on 3rd and 13, it's another long down and distance for Sickwidit, but with a comfortable 22-0 lead, the Hunters defense here as William Perry, another guy we've known formerly of the OTT, has played a variety of positions. He is in now at linebacker.
You gotta think Sickwidit is just burning clock without care.
And the snap by Stone King. Pressure. He finds a way to navigate out of it, but cannot get it to land on that play. And it will be 4th down, as that was intended for Palmer. Richardson coming back on the field. See Matthew Wilson walking around there on the Hunters defense. And this is a solid job by this Hunters defense, just getting the stops where they need to, playing effective defense, not letting the Stone King extend the field, whether with his legs or letting the receivers run loose.
I also feel like Stone King and company are kind of intentionally, taking it easy. Like they're not looking for these strikes or trying to score really quick. They're just, you know, gradually getting these yards
And they will throw it
burning
off here.
clock. Oh wow.
They'll throw it off here on 4th and 8.
4th and 8. Where are they? Are they over the 50?
They are not over the 50. They are on the wrong side of the 50.
I mean, the Hunters haven't scored. I mean, respect the game, of course. Respect the game, it'll respect you. Hunters haven't scored though. I would have just taken off.
That's fair. I feel like right now for Sickwidit, they've proven that their defense can stop the Hunters' offense.
Facts.
Why are you going to risk it on a 4th and 8?
Fact.
Why are you
That's a fact.
There's a sprinkler system in Matter Academy coming to play there. Some guys get into the splash zone. But right now, that's just Mark Gray just having an effective, like, okay, we don't need to throttle here. We can just make whatever we need to make happen. And it looks like Sickwidit might have burned a timeout. They did burn a timeout, as we hope to get the clock resituated. But, Rob, it looks like they will go for it after calling timeout on 4th and 8. As the clock will reset back to 4:50, and we'll run back again after the clock is rerun by the referees. 4th and 8. Stone King.
Drops back. Ooh.
Caught, popped up, incomplete. Richardson, the intended receiver, but Tay Banks, with the hit, knocking the ball out, and the Hunters with a huge 4th down stop, and Richardson giving some push-ups. It's not, I would say, the form you would want, but getting them in there, a little light cardio. And we'll take a brief timeout as the Hunters, after a huge stop, look to put some points on the board. We'll be back with more. 4:24 left to go in the half. It's the games of the week. Welcome back to the A7FL Games of the Week, live right here. And drop a comment, get a shout-out. Download Locker Room Chat today at a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. You can be a part of the conversation with me, Big Rob, and all of us here on the Games of the Week. So be a part of the conversation. Download it today on Android, iPhone, or your favorite mobile device. Greg Smith back in. 22-0 lead for Sickwidit. As the Hunters look to get back on the board. The throw, that's caught on 1st down, picked up by number 16, Tyrese Cook. Not a big gain, but we'll keep the ball moving here with 4 minutes left to go in the half. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. As the Hunters have some sticky fingers on that play. And look to grease the wheels and the scoreboard to make it a 2-score game. Smith on 2nd and 6. The snap, the throw underneath, and that one almost picked off number 15, Andrew Lulemana, pardon me.
Gotta ask how much you think the wind is affecting some of these throws.
If you're throwing into the wind right now, we've been seeing it whip across the stadium today, whether it is the uniforms of the players or the referees, the flags here at Matter Academy. 3rd and 6. Important drive for the Hunters as we near the 2-minute warning. 3:05. The Hunters looking to yell Dale into the scoreboard.
Pressure. Woo!
And that one, solid catch, but a solid stop. And it will be another 4th down for the Hunters. That reception by number 16, that is Cook, one more time.
Yeah, it's like no time, honestly. He has the time to throw it, but as soon as he throws it, they're in his face and they're in front of his receiver.
Not the ideal scenario for Smith in this Hunters offense. 4th and 6, not a lot of space between the receivers and the secondary. Going out wide is Spencer Hall. The throw to the sideline. Caught, brought in, no!
He drops it.
Could not hold on to it. Looking for a call is Tyrese Cook. 16 on 16 violence. That was Deion Fox on the coverage.
That's just good defense. That's just good defense. He can't look for a call.
Now, that is a solid defensive stop there as Sickwidit. As we just approached the 2-minute warning. We'll take a brief timeout, and when we return after the 2-minute warning, we will have the end of the first half. Sickwidit driving. We'll be back with more after this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. We're back live on the A7FL Games of the Week. And as we prepare for the final 2 minutes of this half, Big Rob Fabian, we get back to live action. And we have Gator Tech, folks. If you want to get more protected, utilize the Gator Skin Shiesty. Helps up to 79% in limiting concussion risk. And Matt Murphy looking to add more points to the board. And he gets another first down. The rushing game coming through. And if you want to come through for your head health, get a Gator Tech Shiesty now at GatorTech.com. That's GatorTech.com. Use the code A7FL25 for 10% off. And the clock stops under 2 minutes, Rob, on a drop pass or an incomplete play or running out of bounds. Murphy doing that there to stop the clock as Sickwidit looked to put 6 more on the board. They got stopped on their last drive. Stone King to Richardson, and Richardson.
What is your problem?
He gets ball to the face-itis as it will be second down.
Richardson, where are my push-ups at? Because there's no way you just dropped that. I'm catching that.
Are you mad as a fellow member of the Bonnet Club that he dropped that ball?
I'm upset.
Is that the next Bonnet Club meeting? Is that something noted in the minutes?
Me and Richardson got to have a discussion. How do you drop that wide open pass?
At halftime, we'll have a recap of the day so far in the A7FL. Rob and I might share chili recipes and also some stats, maybe some highlights, possibly me trying on new pairs of pants. We'll find out what happened at halftime. Murphy and Stone King have been a really solid team so far today in the
Very
backfield for Sickwidit.
I'm liking that duo. I'm liking that duo right now. I'm liking what I see from those two guys.
But Sickwidit might need a few more options aside from Murphy. They've got Iquan Corsi, too, in the backfield. But number 57, the ball pops out. But that is kept. Palmer chases it out of play.
See, listen, big fella, we are big guys for a reason. We don't need to get fancy feet. We don't need to do all that. We get ball, we run straight. That's it. We don't do anything extra.
It's
There's
like
no
the
need.
guy in Eddie. You just take charge.
That's
Lugash
it.
takes charge.
That is it.
When-
Nothing else.
Also, I feel like I deserve an award for making a reference to the 1990s film Eddie, starring Whoopi Goldberg. Just if you want to throw me a parade, please do. A timeout taken by Sickwidit, their last timeout of the half. And Rob, real interesting here, up 22-0, but a few miscalculations by this Sickwidit offense to give the Hunters a lot more opportunity to be competitive in this first half. The Hunters just not able to convert. If you're Mark Gray right now, what are you telling a team that's up by 3 scores, but if you gave up those kind of plays or made those mistakes against the Insomniacs or even against a team like the Watchmen or the Animals, those are costly.
It's like, fellas, put them away. That's really what you get to telling your team right here. Like, why are we playing with our food? Let's put them away. Like, we're better. We're a better team. We have better athletes. We're faster. We're stronger. Let's put them away. But it does seem like they're playing with their food a little bit. And against better teams, that will cost you.
Yeah, if you were up by this much, and we've seen it in prior A7FL playoff and championship games where a team will get a little too comfortable in a lead that is not insurmountable.
Right.
And make it a lot closer than you'd want it to be. We saw it last night in the NBA playoffs. The Clippers were down by 25. Nuggets got complacent, made some mental errors, and then almost cost them the game. It took Aaron Gordon at the buzzer to make it happen.
Yeah,
Stone King underneath, looking to avoid a buzzer beater himself.
Goodness.
Moves it ahead, gets the first down to toss over to the big man at the 25.
Got to pay for that ride.
I believe that was... Trying to get a number on that. I believe it was number 25, but I could not clear that number. Shout out to the Chains crew today. And Murphy pushing through the pile, gets to the 10, gets inside the 10 in this rushing game for Sickwidit. Built on the back of Matt Murphy and Iquan Corsi showing out. As it looks, Murphy might be a little hurt after that play. He might have went down hard on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody hit him. It just looks like he.
It wasn't Murphy. Another player down. It looks like a Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Either way, they came down hard on the ground. Not ideal.
Somebody probably fell on him.
Oof. I think that's one of the more common, if not jarring, plays in the A7FL. When you tackle a guy and that weight just comes down on you and knocks your wind out. I've had the wind knocked out of me before.
There's nothing fun about it. Especially like falling and having like another heavy set fellow fall on you.
That first gasp of air. You just feel the entirety of your soul just get completely wrenched out.
Yeah, there's nothing fun about it.
But with 53 seconds left to go in the half, Sickwidit looking to knock on the door one more time after the injury timeout to one of the Hunters. Do you go back to Murphy here on first down? Do you shut the door here, or do you try to go for a pass play here, utilize all 4 downs?
I'm going to take a page out of Corey's book here. You've been using Murphy for the attack. So I'd play action Murphy, roll out to Seau.
To the big man? I'm thinking you go to Darren Palmer in the back right of the end zone. They have...
I'm not mad at that either.
The play action to Palmer right there in that back right hash. That pylon could be the move. The throw, that is incomplete. Was intended for Palmer, but was going towards the pylon. I just picked the wrong one.
I don't like how the receivers are playing right now. A couple of drop passes, like, the balls are hitting them in their hands, and they're kind of like there's a lack of seriousness right now. I've seen all the focus.
Oh, roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer. That's idiotic. That was stupid. You
don't want to give up those ticky-tack penalties. You don't want to create situations in games like this. And I know this sounds redundant. Everybody says, you don't want to do stupid things. But when you get into the heat of the moment, when you're trying to win a game, when you're down by 3 scores, there are certain things that carry you more than your logical brain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we have an ego, a super ego, and an id. but I will get into my media studies degree at halftime. 49 seconds left to go. A handoff to Murphy. Murphy cuts inside. Touchdown. Sickwidit.
Yeah, too easy. Way too easy. And they scored that before the half.
28-0.
Same thing.
And if you want to get cross the corner, get to the Crossing Minds podcast, wherever you get podcasts. Rob and V give you all the advice you need for life, love, and all points in between. Download the Crossing Minds podcast wherever you podcast or find them on YouTube. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, who you can hear on the Crossing Minds podcast.
Appreciate you, Matt.
Of course. They will go for 2 here. Now, if you were trying to give the Hunters relationship advice right now to make their bond stronger, Rob.
Try to not let go of that offense. Hold on to those guys as long as you can.
Hold on tight. Hold on loosely. Don't let go. And Darren Palmer didn't let go.
Wow.
As he makes it another couple of points. He continues to extend the distance between Sickwidit and the Hunters. Makes it 30-0 with 46 seconds left to go. The Hunters will get the ball here to close out.
That's rough.
The first half.
Belly cam.
And the midriff cam brought to you by our expanding waistlines. Why are they expanding? I love sandwiches. And it will be a 3-on-1 attempt. A flag thrown.
Must be unsportsmanlike. Uh-oh.
And
yeah, let's get to our
caustic,
shot.
yes,
Come on,
caustic
man.
and controversial, as both sides look to have a polite conversation. Shout out to Coach James of Insomniac, keeping the peace there.
Good job.
You guys are on national television.
Yeah, you're losing on national television. Stay on your sideline and discuss the next half.
Yes, you have a lot of football left to go. No need to pull a jello here and swerve into that corner. Whoa. But Rob, you're down 30-0. You have been in situations like this before, not frequently.
Oh no. Yeah, 30-0
is a rarity, but it happens.
That was the end of the game when we got there. It was like the game was over.
But if you find yourself in a situation where you have guys, you start off the season, no Savion Cunningham so far today, no Tone Smith so far today. The Hunters with Greg Smith behind center don't have a lot of weapons to get him deep into this game. And a shout out to Lady Sick 8 watching on A7FL.com/chat. Seems Mrs. Palmer enjoying the program. Hopefully you are as well wherever you are joining us. If you want to say hi, go to A7FL.com/chat. And it will be Charles Johnson returning for the Hunters. As the cameraman got shaken up. Got shook out of his shoes before the ball was in the air. That happened to my cousin Cleavon once. 3-on-1 throw off. As we are live on A7FL.tv, caught behind the 25, but it will get to the 45. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hunters.
I mean, at this point right now, you still have another half to go. There's a lot of adjustments that have to be made, and if you're not willing to make them, I don't even know why you came here today. But something's got to change. Like, you have to score. Go into this halftime, up with 6 on the board, so you at least know you can score on these guys. Right now, it doesn't even look like they can hang.
Deion Fox, former Vegas Force quarterback, in the lineup for Hunters today.
Why isn't he playing quarterback?
Oh, pardon me. D. Fox is on the Sickwidit. I was looking at the wrong roster. That was me being a fool. That was number 16, Tyrese Cook, who we've seen called a few times today. The handoff to Cook, and the big man.
Ugh.
The pile gets pushed beyond the initial line of scrimmage. And okay, all right, you made your point.
Yeah, nah.
Little too much here.
Nah, that's not cool. Like, we get it. He stopped. I'm pretty sure the whistle is blowing.
And this is what caused the issues in the BIC Animals game a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's not cool. Like, it's insult to injury, guys. Like, we get it. You're winning. It's the same thing on the other side. You're winning already. You stopped them already. I'm pretty sure we heard 4 whistles before you even made it to the out of bounds. Then you made it out of bounds and made sure you drove them towards the bench. Guys, come on, man. You can't do that. With the wrong/right team, that doesn't end that way.
It doesn't end that way, and it doesn't end the way you want it to.
Right.
Like,
that's not football.
Why
man.
instigate in situations like that? Like,
Honestly.
I get adrenaline, but allowing your
yeah, it's 6 of you guys on one guy. What adrenaline did you just get? You got happy because you guys are together doing it? No.
The power of friendship, man. Rob, can make anything.
Oh my goodness. The power of friendship. Scream it out loud. I get it.
Isn't that that's what we yell before we go on the air every week? The power of friendship.
Time. Corey usually starts it off with his Captain Planet rings.
Look, the power of love is a curious thing. Don't need money, don't need fame, don't need a credit card to ride on this train. As the Hunters look to show the power of friendship and the power of love will yield them 6 points. Shout out to Hines from Torrington, Connecticut. The handoff on first down, smothered, covered, will matriculate some yards, but covered in a white and orange crush. Okay. D'Angelo Candler, a.k.a. he calls himself Thanos, snapped a few yards on that play, but with 20 seconds and 1 timeout left, the Hunters moving with not a lot of expedience, Big Rob. And a player has been ejected from the game. We'll have an update on who that is a little later. Final play of the first half. Smith will snap the ball. He will step up. He will fling it to the sideline, and that will be the end of our first half. Number 14 of Sickwidit. That's Aaron. That was Siobhan Richardson almost getting the INT. But at the end of the first half, Sickwidit taking a 30-0 lead over the Hunters. When we come back, it'll be halftime. We'll talk things over. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Ball at the 31. We're back live with the A7FL Games of the Week. Let's go over to some highlights from our game so far. Today, Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian and Iquan Corsi.
Pushes inside and met at the 30.
Set the momentum.
We go to the grassy knoll one more time on 1st and goal.
As we take a look at some of the earlier footage, as we were live on A7FL.tv. This is what you missed if you joined us at the top of the hour. Iquan Corsi making it 12-0. Then on the extra point, that's run right in there in the rushing attack, Big Rob.
Looks great.
And that was number 12, Spencer Hall on the run. We go back to the knoll. It's Stone King on that toss back to Corsi. Couldn't get it going, Rob. Corsi's so effective in the backfield as a weapon, and then we see Darren Palmer, a.k.a. DP, cutting through north and south on the defense. Big play through, and that's Richardson. Siobhan Richardson, when he's able to pull that ball in, he can slip and slide right into the end zone, throws up the deuces to make it a 3-score lead. And we continue here. And that's the extra point one more time. Just this rhythm and consistency from Sickwidit. Sometimes they get a little too flashy, try a little too hard. But when they make the right play, like you see here, just firing on through, that's Devin Houston on the stop. And then one more time, that's Murphy and Corsi. But as we saw with the Animals today, I think the Sickwidit offense is just trying to show, as we see Sal with the catch, they're just trying to show the complexity and the diversity of their offense against a team that may not be able to stop them. If they're playing a monosyllabic style of football, the Hunters might be able to catch on to a rhythm. But with the weapons in the backfield, the speed of the receivers and Stone King stepping up in the pocket and making plays like that, even though Palmer doesn't pull it in, Richardson doesn't pull it in there, that is still effective playmaking. And we see Smith here of the Hunters. This would be whipped, almost picked off. Effective defense, and a lot of people loving the seatbelts nowadays. That could have been a disaster late in the first half, but somehow Sickwidit keep it, and then Matt Murphy. Don't call him Alex Murphy, but he is a RoboCop running down the field. His primary directive is to get tutties, and he does so here, sliding into the end zone to make it 28-0. And then on the extra point, it would be one more time, making it 22-0. When we return here on the A7FL Games of the Week, it is a big showdown here in Las Vegas. We'll be back with more action in just a few moments. Stay right where you are. Back live with the A7FL Games of the Week at halftime. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And Rob, if you want to get yourself a custom Big Rob jersey or Corey Hammond or Matt Ryan jersey, you can go to tpg-sports.com. That's tpg-sports.com. Get custom athletic uniforms for athletes of all sports and ages, including a custom official A7FL jersey. Go to tpg-sports.com or scan the QR code now. That's tpg-sports.com. And get yourself a uniform for you, your team, or the A7FL fan in your life today. 3:33 until the start of halftime. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And Rob, with a little bit of time that we have before the half, what are the one thing that you think both teams need to continue to work on heading into the second half?
They've been doing it all game. They scored 30 points without any of them being answered. They just have to continue that, and with the amount of opportunities they're getting, start at a certain point, maybe around the fourth quarter, start trying new things, start implementing new plays into your playbook. Now the Hunters, on the other hand, we talk about adjustments because those are the main things that get you something. You guys have to prove to yourself today that, one, you can stop these guys, and then after stopping them, you can score. Because right now it doesn't look like you belong on the field with them. But it's only 30 points, and you still have a whole nother 2 quarters. You could shut them down here, shut them out, score the next 30 points yourself, and then do 6.
And as we go from the wind to the vistas, the mountains that the Hunters have to climb is a high one, but Sickwidit also have to climb their mountain starting May 18th, the A7FL playoffs. Come to Fox Soul, come to Fight 24/7, come to Triller TV Plus and DAZN. For more information on the A7FL playoffs and also where you can watch the A7FL, go to a7fl.com and a7fl.com/watch. And right now for me, for Sickwidit, it's just finding ways to maintain rhythm, maintain cadence, just not allow the wacky stuff that we've seen from the saw from the Animals earlier today come into play. But when we return, we go from halftime to the second half. We get the wind, we get the weather, we get the football. We'll find out what happens in our second half in just a moment. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are. We're back here on the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, and we're preparing for the second half of action here in Las Vegas. And trouble ahead, trouble behind. And that notion just crossed my mind, and the Hunters in a Casey Jones-esque situation as they are grateful to try to get the ball back here, but Sickwidit with a lead as it is stones and roses for this Hunters offense, and fear and loathing on the sideline. Sickwidit ready to bounce back. They've only had one loss on the season, but it was an emphatic loss to the defending back-to-back national champion Insomniacs. But it's all smiles in the Sickwidit huddle. They are up 30-0. So far today in the A7FL, the Animals defeated the Hawks. The Octane upset the Virginia Heathens. It was so much of an upset that it broke my brain. And also earlier in the day, the Stealth beat the Gold. And folks, if you want to unlock the potential of your monetization, of your content, if you want to make a little money off of your podcast, your home videos, or just if you're running a media company like your boy, scan the QR code now and utilize the power of Scene, that's SEEN, and see what it does on A7FL.tv. And there you see Iquan Corsi in the huddle inside the sideline. A great shot on a beautiful day in Sin City. It's the Silver State. And right now, they're showing out as we get some Western Conference football for the first time across the nation on A7FL.tv. I'm Matt Ryan, and you got to wonder what they're playing on the sideline there. I wonder if it's, maybe some oompa band, maybe some ska. You think they're a big Dashboard Confessional fan? Let me know on A7FL.com/chat. No need to gamble. Like your girl Gertie, Matt Ryan here with you alongside Big Rob Fabian, rocking through here in the second half as football continues on A7FL.tv. And now a return for the Hunters. That is number 10, Dante Banks. And Banks trying to bank something here. He called out a play at the 29. And the young man excited, but gotta remember, the hash is out of bounds. That's the line. If you're joining us for the first time and wondering, why the play dead? Well, no, they touched the sideline. That's the hash mark. But it will be 1st and 10 for the Hunters at the 29 as Sickwidit's defense has made their will known here today at Matter Academy in Las Vegas. And a big win for the Stealth as both the Stealth and Sickwidit are battling for the 2 spot in the West. And the Hunters, the Stealth have a loss to Sickwidit so far this season. Stealth hoping for the Hunters to pull off the upset, but so far it seems like the defending Nevada Division champions are going to walk out of here possibly with a win today. But it will be 1st and 10. Change at quarterback. Greg Smith out. It looks like Cook will step in at quarterback. 2 wide receivers set. 3 on the line. 1 set to the right. Man in motion. The snap. Not a lot of time. That's Murphy coming in on the pressure. And nothing but white jerseys and orange pants surrounding the quarterback. That is number 16. A call on, what's the flag on the play? I'm sure of what the call will be. But it's on the defense. It'll be 1st and 5 after the reprieve from the officials. Johnson stepping into the huddle alongside him. Big opportunity for Cook, a.k.a. Louis V, to get some points in the bag. Just under 90 seconds gone by in our second half. In motion. Not only the name of the show we do, but the quarterback who gets a big charge there on 1st and 5 falls for about 4, so it'll be 2nd and 1. Some consternation and conversation between Zach Scrione and members of the Hunters offensive line as they make sure that the line of scrimmage is where it's supposed to be, and it was only a gain of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 3. They won't give him the tumbling yards. 2nd and 3 after the penalty and the quick run from the quarterback. The throw underneath. Can't get there! And Deion Southern.
He puts that man on his back.
Call him the hardware store because he brought the lumber. My word.
He just laid the wood on him.
Wood, Harris. I was going to go on a run there, and then after Wood, Harris, I'm like, he was great in The Wire, and then I just started thinking about the Barksdales and how much I need to rewatch that show.
He was about to go crazy.
Season 1 or Season 2, Rob?
Of?
The Wire. Oh, you've seen it, all right?
1.
Two's underrated. 1's better, but 2's underrated.
Yeah, 1.
I think 3 might be the best. And right now on 3rd and 3, they're hoping this is the best for the Hunters. In motion, the wide receiver on the screen, and no one knew who was getting that one. That was Wilson, the intended receiver. Johnson also thought he was going to get it, but they get nothing but a 4th down, an incomplete pass from Cook as Louis V. Not able to style on the Sickwidit defense.
But I'm seeing that they made the required adjustment somewhere, at least at the quarterback position, to see if they can get a score. 4th and 3rd, and they're still going to go for it.
The Bebo bounce, as we like to call it out east.
The Bebo bounce.
And it will be D'Angelo Candler, a.k.a. Thanos, set up to the right.
That is such a crazy name.
That is a nickname. That is a nickname that I believe you need approved. Like, I do believe there needs to be like old head approval, and Thanos, meets his end game on 4th and 3.
Yeah, that don't happen to Thanos, man. You can't just call yourself that.
I feel like the actor who played Thanos, he was in Inherent Vice, which I've seen recently. He needs to be mad about that. But a player hurt on the field, not what you want at all. Looks like a member of Sickwidit down at the point of contact.
It's like calling yourself Zeus. Who does that?
Another injury on the Hunters.
Oh,
the guy goes down for them. We'll stay here as we take a look at the Sickwidit sideline. But Rob, the playoffs taking shape here in the A7FL. Next week's the final week of the A7FL regular season. We'll have BIC taking on the Watchmen in our final matchup of the year, but we'll talk about that and continue the 3rd quarter when we return. Injury on the field. We'll be back with more action, 30-0. Sickwidit in the lead. This is the A7FL Games of the Week. Back here on the A7FL Games of the Week, Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, and after I figured out who Josh Brolin was in the break, we're back with more action, and he scores 30-0. Coming up a little bit later on next week will be Watchmen taking on the BIC, Rob. That will be a huge matchup that will essentially decide what the Eastern playoff bracket will look like leading into our Final Four showdown, East versus West. The masterful mastering at Matter. That will be a little bit later on in the summer. We'll have more on that as we get A7FL in motion this week across your favorite platform. And if you want to watch A7FL in motion, you can head to a7fl.tv or find out where you can watch it on demand at a7fl.com/watch. But Rob, Watchmen BIC next week, both teams will possibly be at full strength for the first time this season.
I hope so.
And with the rumors that Mark Bagway is making his way to the BIC, we'll see if him and Deontay Henderson make their season debut next week when we are live from Asbury Park Stadium for the final time of the regular season. Corsi back in at quarterback. Richardson stutters in motion, and they hand it off again. Push the pile. Upon the replay, we got to have another big run there. That's by number 6. That's Devin. No, that's not number 6. Pardon me. No, that is number 6. That's Devin Houston. As Houston
nice run.
Makes contact, and it'll be first down.
That is a nice run. He read every cut that was there and just lined it up. He walked through that lane.
They go for that stutter step again, but for a play action, runs it out, cannot get there. Intended for Palmer, but not able to make that happen as it will be third down.
There's way too much sauce on that throw. He has an arm. He's showing off that arm, I guess.
Wrong intended receiver on that play, but either way, it will be third down. Second down, pardon me. And Rob, just the ability. That was a tight end who just went out on a streak and almost caught that one.
That's impressive. Oh,
as we see a drone. Hello, friend or foe? Friend or foe? That's my question.
Friend.
It also looked like we were going into Howl's Moving Castle for a minute because we just saw bright blue sky and this flying object. I thought we went through the looking glass, or I was having a dissociative episode on the air again. That's not what we want. Iquan Corsi. That'll be blown dead, and we will restart. It's either that or Andy showed up, and everybody had to revert to toy form.
Love when Andy comes through, right? Everybody just drops to the ground like we weren't doing anything at all.
Nope. I wasn't making a full sandwich. Not at all.
Nope.
Palmer and company with Court. And rotating in Corsi, is this potential for the playoffs? Is this just trying to get another look? Is this just like, okay, we're up by enough to where this kid has a cannon for an arm. Let's see what he can do.
You know what's crazy? Everything you said, I feel like it's a little bit of all of it. It's like, let's give this kid a look. We're already up. Let's see what he can do because, hey, if things happen in the playoffs and we need him, will he be able to step up and do it? And do we know what he can do? Like, what are his abilities?
And the Animals proved that with CJ earlier today. Him coming in, and Houston again has liftoff, gets to the 20, and that will be third down. Another effective run play. Sickwidit's rushing attack has been, I would say, the bright spot to talk about coming out of this game.
Definitely has. I like what they're doing with the rushing. I've seen three running backs already, and they all have positive yards.
And that is a rarity in the A7FL to where you have 3 separate runners, with the exception of maybe the BIC, the U over a couple of years, and maybe the Insomniacs this year with RTC and Juice and a couple of other guys back there like the running ball, the bowling ball, Devontae Carter, who had a touchdown in the Insomniacs last matchup a couple of weeks ago. The snap in trouble. Corsi will just get on his bicycle. He will run. He will impressive stutter step there. Gets to the 12. And that should be more than enough for the first down.
It's a nice run.
It's just these guys see what the defense are able to do. They're able to track them and just get enough for the first down. They're not trying to be flashy enough. This is what Sickwidit, when they're able to do this, they're probably one of the 4 best teams in the league. When they're able to focus, lock in, and concentrate, they're doing great work. But like we saw from the Animals earlier today, and we saw from Sickwidit a few times so far in this game, when they're doing the laterals, when they're trying to be too flashy, when they're having
that's when things go wrong.
Exactly. Houston with Corsi. And if you're a team in the East right now, you are watching this game intently, trying to figure out what this Sickwidit team can bring to you. And Corsi keeps it, fakes the toss, gets it to Houston, slip slide, touchdown.
Good touchdown.
And that was a play that could have went wrong a bunch of different ways, but just the timing and the trust of their teammates makes it 36-0, Rob.
And right now, these guys, I hope they're trying to figure something out because it's getting dark. It's starting to get a little dark.
It may be 2:20 out west, but the sun is setting on the Vegas Hunters in the latter portion of our third quarter. And Rob, not a fun time for this Vegas Hunters. You see them right there doubled over.
It's tough.
When you're in a situation like this where you're down by a sufficient amount of scores, what motivates you to keep grinding as we will see Corsi and company try to go for 2 from the 10? Corsi waits, throws, caught, and that one dropped in there.
Yeah, the answer to your question is like competitive instinct, honestly. I hate losing. And then even if I know I'm going to lose, I hate going out like a bum. Like I want to make sure even if I lose, you remember you played against Big Rob today. Like I need to leave a lasting impression.
And we will look to leave a lasting impression, and so will Sickwidit when we return here with the A7FL Games of the Week. It's all love on the sideline, but will the Hunters try to put a little fear and loathing in them? We'll find out after this. Welcome, bienvenue. Welcome back to the A7FL Games of the Week. No, it is not a cabaret. Well, even though we are in Las Vegas, the city of lights, sound, and energy. And the Hunters right now are certainly in need of some energy, Big Rob Fabian, as they are down 38-0 with 7:06 left to go in the third frame on a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. That one is thrown deep in a Hunters territory, and he cannot get anything going.
That is a good tackle.
Gets it to the 27, an emphatic tackle and Sickwidit. Quan Corsi, and this guy, number 22 is hurt. His knee's a little gammy after that hit.
You hate to see it, but though that's the thing, you know, when you're in these types of games, you ask, you know, was it a good idea for the Animals to bench their starters? Yeah, if my Kwani Morgan isn't holding his knee like that at the end of the game against a team I know we could beat without him, yeah, I'm happy to sit him.
And with 7:05 left to go, another injury for the Hunters. Another player down for them. That's their third so far today.
It's not a good look.
I believe there might have been an ejection, for the Hunters. I'm not sure who got tossed from this game, but someone in the opening half of today got tossed. And the player is moving, luckily, so it just seems like he got banged up. And our best to him, that was number 22, Matthew Wilson, the returner on that last play. And it will be Tyrese Cook back in at quarterback. And a fun fact, Rob, I don't know if many people know this. I was the person who gave the Hunters their name.
Really?
Yeah, and I named them the Vegas Hunters after Hunter S. Thompson, the famous
nice.
author of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. A little homage to the city of sin, and the throw deep downfield, almost caught, almost picked off. Deion Southern, one of the Southern brothers.
Definitely put his all behind that one.
That was incomplete, and Louis V., Tyrese Cook, yeeted that one. But Oos did not get that one to go. So 6:28 left to go.
I'll try.
And one more time, a shout out to our staff today. Mel Carey, our TD. Derek Duncan helping out in Las Vegas. Our producer, Alex Soberman. Our director, making sure we stay on the track, is David Soberman, the doctor. Cole Gardella on stats, info, and funny things. Zach Morgan on highlights. The Sickwidit defense on sacking. That one's tossed up, incomplete. That's not a lateral. I understand why he would think that was a lateral, but that was not a lateral.
Talk room, my man.
Why would you do that to me? It's draft weekend. I'm a Raiders fan. Like, why are you hurting me?
I mean, listen,
why you gotta hurt my
right
soul?
I'm hurt right now, you know, as a Patriots fan. I'm hurt.
Oh, you've got Drake May. Stop it. Oh, look at me. I'm a fan of the greatest modern football franchise.
We haven't been good in a little bit, you know.
A little bit. You've
bit.
won a Super Bowl in the last decade. Stop it.
Several,
Stop it.
But yeah.
Says the guy who's won everywhere he went in the A7FL. Big Rob. Big Rob riding that high horse, but I know he's a Knicks fan, so it's okay. The throw, caught, intercepted.
Oh my goodness.
That's Deion Southern. Southern slips, slides, takes it to the house. He's so sick. Ooh, left foot slide, right foot turn. The Sickwidit defense is electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie.
They're going crazy. These guys, I mean, they're not missing a beat. I mean, they're turning it on. It's only third quarter, and they've already seemed like they're putting these guys away.
And he is not just on highlights. He is a producer who produces results. It is Zach Morgan. I want to shout him out today because he kept a lot of weird stuff from happening today. Like a tarp opened up somewhere over I-95. He stopped it from happening.
Nice.
He also ended up getting, there's a turnover chain. Nice. Look at that. I love when a good prop gets involved.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool stuff.
They got drones. They got chains. No turtlenecks, no V-necks.
Nah, it's too hot for that.
Them V-neck boys.
V-necks would have worked.
Let us know, a7fl.com/chat. Would you rock a V-neck jersey or a button-up jersey? Someone suggested a turtleneck jersey.
Turtleneck jersey is crazy.
That just would seem uncomfortable.
You clearly don't care about yourself. A turtleneck jersey?
Is it because it's a turtleneck?
It's because we usually play in hot weather.
Well, it's just a hypothetical. Also, we've been in Asbury Park.
Oh, yeah, that's facts. You don't think they would do it, Matt? You don't think I think BIC.
Going for two. It's Corsi just.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just a convoy. They pulled the Smokey and the Bandit. They eat
ready,
East pounding down.
That's tough. Oh.
And they're trying to argue he went out of bounds at the 2. It's either that or the turf came out. And it looks like they will call him out of play. And when we return with the A7FL Games of the Week, the Hunters will look to get back on the board. And me and Rob will keep you entertained for as long as we can. It'll be back with more action in just a moment. Stay right where you are. We're back and in living color. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And when we were talking about what our favorite Limp Bizkit album was during the break, we were also wondering what happens when you get taped up like a pro. Our friends at Tape Me Up help you with professional athletic training services for athletes of all sports and ages. If you want to get taped up, go to tapemeup.net. That's tapemeup.net or scan the QR code now. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Sickwidit will be throwing off here in the latter stages of our third quarter. And this one will bounce back into the end zone as a live ball. It's a live ball. Ball's loose.
Touchdown,
Sickwidit.
Touchdown. Wow, it's done.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Disgusting. Touchdown, Sickwidit.
50 boys. 50 boy alert.
2 points. They should have given him the 2 points. They should have let him have it. This is what happens.
Oof. One of the more calamitous plays we've seen all season, and we've seen some calamitous 3-on-1 returns. Canyon Stone King looking like a long relief pitcher as his day is done. And Ish Kabibble, Rob.
This is bad. This is bad. That's bad, bro. Like, when you talking about a momentum swing, like, that's bad.
That is taking someone out for a 4-course meal and them slamming the door in your face as you go to shake their hand goodnight. That is just the opposite of anything you would want in that situation. It went from bad to worse to terrible to somehow catastrophic all in the span of 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, it's so ugly.
And I wonder what the conversation coming out of this game for teams that may play Sickwidit coming out of the East in the playoffs. I wonder what Kenny Stansberry and company are thinking about. I wonder what David Tender and the Animals are looking at as potential for looking at this team as a potential opponent.
I'll tell you what Kenny is thinking.
They're going for the extra point here at Southern. He will charge on through, and they will not give it to him. They will say he was out of bounds. But either way, holy moly.
Indeed, this is bad. Like, to allow that, like, there's a level of carelessness that I'm seeing right now from this Hunter squad to allow that. You got to protect the ball. We talk about how the 3-on-1, the special teams in A7 right now, the BIC won last week because of special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about how important special teams can be. To allow a team that's already dominating you in every other facet of the game to score on your 3-on-1, yeah, nah.
And we will go through it again with the Hunters. As
I'd be sad.
That's just got to be a frustrating place to be, man. That's just
tough. And I told you, I've been on the side of watching guys like Ashanti and what's his name, King,
Matt Riddick and
Matt Riddick just
Kason Campbell. Kason Campbell. Oh, and the ball's fumbled loose again.
Goodness.
He keeps possession, gets past the first layer of defense, and
no way, that's not a flag.
Yeah, that's a hip drop tackle. That should be a flag.
Where's the flag?
That was no attempt to wrap. I would throw a flag there, but I'm not the official in this game.
100% a flag. We don't do that here. Wow.
But with 4:55 left to go in the third quarter.
We do not do that here.
But Rob, when we look at some of the playoff matchups, if we hypothesize in the first round, the BIC may be taking on could be taking on the Crusher, the Hawks. Like there's some options here in the A7FL playoffs that can create some real fun and interesting matchups. What's the one matchup outside that we haven't seen? Is it Renegades U? Is it Renegades Animals? What?
Renegades Animals for sure. I want to see that.
The snap, in trouble, rolls out, rolls around, rolls down, and gets rolled out to the 2-yard line. It'll be second and oi.
Second and oi. Renegades lost to BIC as well as the Animals, right?
Yes.
Those are the two teams I want to see go up against each other.
Renegades.
Renegades and Animals, simply because they both lost to BIC.
That would be a fun matchup. They haven't faced each other yet this season. Right now, in terms of the A7FL, in terms of the top 7 in the East, or the top 8 teams in the East right now, the Heathens and the U are at the bottom. They're 2-3 apiece following their losses.
Sheesh.
The Crush and the Hawks at 6-5. The Renegades at the 4 spot. So right now, we'll have more updates on this week. We'll have a full layout of the playoffs and where we head on A7FL In Motion coming up this week on A7FL.tv. Find out more at A7FL.com/watch on where you can watch In Motion on your screen. The throw caught on 2nd down, but that won't get them further than the 10-yard line. It will be 3rd down after that play, and hard to find something for the Hunters to work off of here, Rob. This Sickwidit defense has created no time for this quarterback, for Tyrese Cook to think, let alone cook in the backfield.
Yeah, that's really the problem. He has zero opportunity to really figure out what he's doing. And that's gonna hurt you no matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your athletic ability is, none of that matters.
Quinn, Stanford, and the rest of this Sickwidit defensive line, no matter the troop, no matter the coverage so far today, they have created a sufficient amount of pressure. Continues here. That one got swatted coming off the line. And it continues again. And this reminds me of not a direct comparison, but when the gulf was that big, the Patterson U teams that you were on, Rob, in 2021 and in 2019, when they had a gigantic mismatch against an opponent, you guys knew how to exploit it. You knew how to just generate points and make it look not easy, but somewhat meticulous.
Right.
And I see a lot of that in Sickwidit. And I find what they're trying to do as a team, and a lot of the similar weapons, just in different forms, different variations. They have playmakers, and they have depth at running back, which the U had again and again and again, whether it was the ice cream truck, the D-train, hard body, Marcus McKinney, Willie Mayweather. The U always had a lot of depth at running back, a lot of variety at wide receiver, whether it was Big Smoke or Kareem Moon or Marcus McKinney, the tight end. Sickwidit has a lot of those vibes to them, a lot of that feel to them. And the Hunters will throw it off here on 4th down. And the clock will run. But a chance for Sickwidit to add 6 more. And they will. That is number 37.
Did he get it? Oh, Matt. This is rough, Matt.
To quote the great Lou Reed, if you close the door, the night could last forever. Leave the wine glass out because it is after hours here for the Hunters. Oof, they may never have to see the day again after a loss like this. And
I was going to quote Conor McGregor, but I think we'll get in trouble.
Yeah. Let's not say we didn't. Yeah. Zach Cicrione on the run back on the touchdown. And it looks like they didn't give him the 6, but either way.
I mean, they could push their quarterback into it. There's literally nothing there.
They mark it at the 5. Well, actually, no, at the half-yard line. Corsi will hand it off to Southern, and Southern will get him to the LT mark and get it to 56. And also to quote Lou Reed, I am the table, as it has been a botchamania for the Hunters defense today.
It's just a bad look, man. You can't even go into next week trying to figure out what you did right. Nothing went right. Nothing.
Just not able to get off on the right foot, and every time it seemed like there would be a couple of yards here, a couple of yards there. Sickwidit would just full-blown body check.
Ugh.
All the Hunters' momentum. An impressive day from Iquan Corsi. Did not start the day at quarterback. Kenyon Stone King getting sat a little bit towards the end of the first half with a more than comfortable lead, but Corsi has led the charge here with a big run-heavy offense. And Corsi on the toss to the big man. 28 may not get it, but he cracked through to pop that defender. That was Jerome Moore.
Ooh. That's a big fella. Yeah, Sickwidit is a very big team.
They have the bodies, man. Like,
when you put it in a box, when you put it in this slight perspective, let's say you just came out here and this is the first game you're watching. Sickwidit looks like the biggest, most dominating, fastest, strongest team that could possibly be over there. When you find out there's a team that they go against that puts 50 on them and leaves them on 0, it really puts in perspective how good the Insomniacs are.
yes. And when you take a look at how close, the BIC and the Nightcrawlers played them the year before,
it kind of shows you then that the Insomniacs are continuously playing on the level or above the level of anything we have over here on the East. And Sickwidit isn't far, but they're just not there yet.
They're in shouting distance.
They're shouting facts.
I think
Again, we talked about it. Top 5, top 3, arguably.
I think that they are in conversation with the Baltimore Watchmen on the OLI of the top 3 teams in this league.
I think they're better than the Watchmen.
Interesting. And we may see that. We might see something like that happen. And now an opportunity again for some redemption. And he is driven back to the 15.
You saw when he changed gears and everything. Wow. What a guy.
No, sir. No,
Can the
no,
Hunters
sir.
leave here with a little bit of dignity by scoring at least one time?
Can they borrow a feeling, Rob? If we're talking about dignity, can they borrow a feeling?
Oh, man. Can't borrow none of my feelings. I don't like being sad.
Lucky? Ooh, I'm Rob. I don't feel sad.
I said I don't like feelings. I don't want the sadness they have right
That's
now.
fair.
I don't want that sadness.
It's a real hello darkness, my old friend situation right now.
Anything higher than 56, for sure.
2 wide receiver set. 3 on the line. Sickwidit bringing 4, but watch the edge rusher. He is a big man, and they are looking to create pressure. Caught, made, and that is dropped. And it will be 2nd down. And with 5 seconds left to go, this will be the last play of the game as we have passed the threshold for a called game. And this will be your final. Sickwidit walking away with a 56-0 victory over the Hunters, solidifying their position as they will bounce to 4-1.
Yikes.
Next week for Sickwidit, they will be battling next time we see them is on May 18th when they battle the Vegas Gold. But next week in the A7FL, we'll have a little bit more for you around the A7FL. But when we come back here in the A7FL Games of the Week, we'll get you ready for Week 7 in the A7FL, run you through some scores, and we'll have some more for you. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. We'll be back. I'm coming. Back here on the A7FL Games of the Week, 56-0 was the final score as Sickwidit got the win, and we are taking a look at highlights from earlier in the day, Rob, as the Silk City Animals battled the Old Bridge Hawks. CJ, Chris Johnson in for David Tender, a quarterback. First quarter touchdown of the day to Isaiah Gonzalez would make it 6-0. One more time on the extra point to a returning Larry Wingo, who, Rob, would make a lot happen here in this game here today. Corey Hammond on the quick toss down to Zareel Wright, as Wright would have an impressive day. Over 11 receptions for Zareel Wright in this week 6 showdown. And Rob, when we think about this game between the Hawks and the Animals, it comes down to big stops on fourth down, not able to convert, and then some big turnovers, some big plays, just not delivering for the Hawks. But the Animals on offense, a couple of times with Johnson behind center, weren't able to convert on what would be fourth and long plays.
Right. With
David Tender and his legs when he's completely healthy, that's not necessarily an issue.
Nah, I don't think it's an issue at all. We're talking about the Animals' second team being dominant and pretty much doing what they wanted out there. And, you know, again, this is a lot of getting to know each other, because this isn't the team that's out there every Sunday. So it's oh my goodness, what a move. Wow.
Delron Simmons, even on a day where he didn't come through much on the stat sheet, was insanely impressive.
Oh my God. I want to talk about impressive. Trey Baskerville with one heck of a stat line.
And he had an impressive day, one of the more impressive defensive days, but Robert Long took the top spot on the interception scoreboard, with this one getting his fourth of the season. Pardon me, his third of the season. He was tied with 4 other players for 2, but would take the top spot with this one.
He's out of there.
And what an impressive season for Long. He has stepped up to be one of the most dynamic players in the A7FL. And we're going to let some of these highlights play out for you. Enjoy these as we are live on A7FL's Games of the Week. Oh, he will roll out to his right. He will have to get on his bicycle. Finds the check down in Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, like a young Mark Bravaro, taking an entire team to get the first down. Living up to what his name is, Big and Angry. The handoff. And that's Omari Thomas again. Omari Thomas! Slip, slide! Take it. They were in the first couple of drives. Right here, they're a little slowed. It looks like the Animals defense may have figured them out. The throw, that one is caught. And here's an opportunity for the Hawks. But an empty backfield. Oh, watch the back stack there. Hammond tosses it back. That's to Bebo. Bebo will run. He tries to evade the entire defensive line. And that is LaPera on it out, especially in the playoffs.
With the back stack?
Yeah. Simmons will set out wide. 3rd and 19. Hammond rolls. Throws underneath. That's caught. The Malerm. Pedro Bauzo powers through. Ball set on the 25. Johnson off the screen. That will get him past the initial line of scrimmage. Tossed back. A 3-score lead.
That's really what they did.
With the lack of eligibility and the defense closing in.
Thanks for even paying attention to that. A lot of guys would have missed that.
The snap on 3rd and 22. The throw deep. That is intercepted. Bebo Rios on the interception. What a play. Trying to get into the end zone, make this 14-6. The snap. Hammond throws this one underneath. That's caught by Simmons. The toss back. Here, 1st and 5. The snap. Hammond steps up. He gets brought down. Another big sack. The snap. Off the screen to Zareel Wright. Zareel Wright will scream downfield, and he will get out of play. There's ample space. Rios in motion. Hammond steps up. He finds. Ooh, and that one is knocked away. And that's a live ball. And he is. And this one will be a live ball. That one will bounce inside. That's a live ball. It's touched by Rios, so he's got to run it back now. And he will try to swing past the defenders and just a little bit. But there you see LaPera coming off the edge. The snap, and there's the handoff again to Simmons. Simmons tries. That range of motion just makes him like an octopus out there. Over the middle, that one's caught. That's Bauzo. Bauzo forgot which way he was supposed to go. This is the first drive of the half, and we're almost 3 minutes into Vila again.
Corey is dropping, dude.
I missed my friend. And there's the handoff to Simmons. No, Hammond on the play action. Gets it underneath to Simmons. Simmons trying to push through the pile. Will get it to around the initial line of scrimmage. Out. The snap, and great block there by Simmons. There's the catch. Is that a first down? Ball comes loose. That is a loose ball. 48 left to go. The handoff.
Oh, my.
And that is a big Russian. Will he be the fire, the desire for the Animals offense? The Hawks defense looking to send Johnson to Venus. That one's tipped and somehow out there. Johnson just avoids Simmons somehow. Gets it to the check down, tries to get it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez can't. It's a C option for the majority of the season. Johnson on 2nd and 12 has to get on his bicycle again, throws that one underneath. And that is a big toss. That's a wild loose ball, and the Hawks will come up with.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's just,
and Hammond immediately smothered territory right now for the Hawks offense. There's the screen. That's to Zuriel Wright. Zuriel Wright, make it something. Watch the top of your screen. There's a lot of space there. The throw. That's click. Big Rob Fabian trilingual as it's 1st and 10 after the penalty. Hammond underneath. That is a first down. Pedro Bauzo, a.k.a. the Malherbe, a.k.a. Lil Check.
And we got it.
4 receptions, 50 yards for Bauzo. It's a real right slide. Make that V-neck into a vest. Touchdown, Hawks.
Wow. And there it is. That's what
quarter. And you tackle your opponent behind the 20. You get the ball back, but Wingo is past the 20. They've got to get him back. They won't get him. Leaps over, and Wingo gets it to the 50. Does enough to keep the an empty backfield for Johnson. Pressure coming, and he just sees the barn door open. The barn door was open. Gets the.
He goes outside.
A handoff to Thomas. Thomas will bounce off a defender, change direction, bounce back, and he keeps moving. Omari Thomas gets the first down, keeps it going, finds himself behind the line.
Yeah, what's wrong with that guy?
2nd down. Pardon me, 3rd and 16. Johnson wings this one deep to the end zone. Wingo gets it. I'll shut up. The announcer jinx strikes again. Touchdown, Animals.
Yeah, that's it. Wingo. That's a phenomenal throw. It's a phenomenal pass. It's oh wow. Okay, I like it.
That might be a subtle nod. Bend, don't break. They will go for one here to throw to the end zone, and that one's in.
Oh, he's such a big body. Look like Jay Roller, Trey Baskerville, and Gonzalez.
Those are tremendous. The snap.
The
throw, the catch, that's the real right again.
The workhorse.
And Mud record, the post-2022 record. And Johnson in trouble, the throw, caught. That's Omari Thomas. Thomas screens through the defenders, tries to keep it going, and he does. Slingshots his way through, tosses it back to Gonzalez. And Big Zay Gonzalez, that's tossed back and dribbles. That's picked up by Kasim Perry. 21-6 your score. The throw underneath. Oh, can he get Wingo somehow? What was that?
Oh, my God. Just an easy. What in the world?
What in the NFL street?
Man, he's ever made in his life.
Wingo stepping in the name of love right into the end zone. Just the ability to catch that and then just finish the playoff. What? Rob calling for a tutty. The throw by Hammond. Can't get there. It's a pick. That is another pick. Wrenches on the stat sheet. Johnson on 1st down. He flings the pill. That one is caught in track. And the snap, the screen, caught. Zuriel Wright. Wow. Can he get there? The V-neck is flashing. It's a touchdown for the Hawks. And it carries it in. The snap. Rios will roll out, and he will find something. Tries to get to somebody right again. And who comes up with
Oh
it?
my
Surreal right!
goodness.
Pulls it down!
The workhorse. Wow.
Alongside Big Rob Fabian. And there's a quick handoff and a big push. Ooh! Young man moving, young man grooving.
Goodness.
And under 90 seconds. We're back here live on A7FL's Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, and if you're wondering why you're looking at me, well, we're at the end of our day here on Triller TV Plus, but if you're watching us on Fox Soul, do not worry, do not fret. When we come back, it'll be the Silver State Stealth taking on the Vegas Gold in a special rebroadcast of that game from earlier in the day. Dub Alvarez and Chris Vera will be on the call, but don't worry, your buddy Matt will be here every once in a while to make sure you guys are okay. But for all of us here at the A7FL, for Big Rob Fabian, for myself, we'll say so long from the broadcast position, and we'll see you around right here on the A7FL Games of the Week. We'll see you next week. It's Watchmen taking on the BIC. We decide the playoffs and more. So long, everybody. This has been the A7FL Games of the Week.
Pacific Daylight Time Zone as we are live here at Matter Academy East as we are back after the Easter break or Resurrection Sunday, whatever you want to call it. We are glad you're with us here. It is week 6 of the A7FL as we come down the home stretch here at Matter Academy East. It is a rematch between the Vegas Gold coming off their first win 2 weeks ago, looking to build on that momentum, taking on the Stealth. The Stealth suffered their first defeat, or their second defeat last week. So, I mean, Chris, by the way, I'm Anthony Alvarez, back with Chris Vera. Good to see you, sir.
You too.
Well, a rematch between these two teams, which the score really did not dictate how this game was played because The Gold. I really want to say this is where this was the particular game that the Gold was building off the momentum, and they were building towards something, which eventually became their first win against the Hunters 2 weeks ago.
Would agree, and the biggest thing about that, talking to the coaches, talking to the guys about the situation, one of the things that I did notice was that they were talking about this upcoming game, right? They wanted to see what was going on, and they're getting ready for this game through last game. So what they were talking about was how close the game was, and they're correct. They were very close the last time they were playing in the first half.
Yeah, because it was tied at
yes.
It was tied at 12 at one point in time.
And it was the second half that got away from them because they were trying to do more. So what Jeremiah was telling me was that he was going to go ahead and try to bring this thing back around and keep things drawn in. So we'll see what happens.
So the Gold wearing their new black tops, which look very, very nice with the white pants.
Yeah, they do.
They look very, very, very nice. Now, when they met the first time, now, like I said, this final score was 50-18, but the score really did not dictate what kind of a game was being played because this game was tied, and the Gold was building momentum, but then late turnovers and the Stealth turned those into points. But again, the Gold coming off their win back on April the 6th, beating the Hunters 25-14. The Gold have had 2 weeks off. Now, the unfortunate thing is when you build momentum, the last thing you want is time off.
Right. And actually, if you think about it, what was it, 2 or 3? Because they had the bye week after, and then...
So basically, they've had 3 weeks on a plane, and here we go. Robert Ramsey throws it off, and it is caught. Trying to see what the number is, and that's number 10. And he is across the 25-yard line. Looks like at the 27, bless you. That looks like it was Jaron Anderson, number 10, on the return. So, very rare right now. The sun that's normally in back of us right now is in front of us. So as the afternoon progresses, it will subside. But
and
right now...
Let me just thank Jason Brown, who came up earlier and said, Chris, why'd you jinx us? Because I said we'll never have to worry about the sun being in our face.
Well, Jeremiah Reeves trying to keep this momentum for the Gold after winning back on April the 6th. Stealth in the silver uniforms of the blue trim, the Gold with the black tops, gold trimming, and the white pants. Robert Magdaleno in the backfield with Smith in motion. And that's a give to Robert, and Robert gets to the 30-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Las Vegas Gold. Again, building off momentum from 3 weeks ago, back on the 6th, when they got their first win ever in A7FL history. 25-14 over the Gold. The Stealth trying to get back on track after going through their gauntlet.
Oh, and it was a tough gauntlet at that.
Well, again, when you play the top 2 teams in this division, sometimes things can get very, very hard, as we are accustomed to knowing here in this league. Big Rob in the backfield again. Smith coming in motion.
You got 2 men in motion. They're going to have to settle down.
Yeah.
Give it a 2 count.
Boy, they'll get flagged for cheating.
There we go.
Reeves back to throw. He's going to run for it. He's across the 30. Gets out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Was that a gain of 1 from where he was? 1 or 2? The big thing about this is that, when we talk to these guys about the situation, and I talked to Jeremiah about it, one of the things that he said that they were going to try to do is kind of set up the run today to open up the pass. And I told him that's not a bad idea, especially against the Stealth, because it seems like around the corners is where the Stealth is a little bit on the soft side.
Well, again, you have the Ramseys patrolling the middle of that field.
Well, and that's a tough out.
Yes.
With the Ramseys standing there, that's for sure.
Correct. All right, 3rd down. They need to get to the 38 for a 1st down. And Reeves is going to go on right. And he's knocked out of bounds by JoJo Ramsey, just a bit shy of the 1st down.
Oh, no, they're giving it to him.
They're giving it to
him,
Oh,
yes.
they're going to say move the chains. So it is a 1st down for Jeremiah Reeves.
And this is where I was saying that, the difference that I saw in the Gold was the fact that they were actually willing to run the ball more from the quarterback position and keeping things honest.
Well, not just that. It looks like the Gold is playing with more confidence, and that's a good thing to see.
Well, I mean, keep 3 men on the offensive line is one of the things that we said, because when you go to 2, it just allows a free runner. Doesn't make sense.
All right. Ball spotted at the 37. They got to get to the 47 for a first down. 12:09 to go, and there's a gift to Rob. It looks like Robert got back to the line of scrimmage, if that.
Yeah, they might have given him a yard. Yep. So it'll be second down and 9.
Second down and 9. Glad you're with us here on A7FL.TV. Anthony Alvarez, Chris Vera. Top of the morning to you from the entertainment capital of the world, where right now it is partly cloudy at 59 degrees. It's supposed to be a high of 71 today, with wind gusts to 10 miles per hour here in the Vegas Valley. However, we're glad you're with us here.
And right now, the flags are actually not dancing.
Yeah, they're actually kind of
Barely
still
moving.
at the moment. Reeves will put it up for the first time, taking the
Got a
shot
man
deep,
open.
and he's got Lasante Anderson, and knocked away.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
The thing about it is he had a man on a crossing pattern,
Yeah.
which would have been better because there's nobody out there. That could have easily been a touchdown if
He
he would
had-
have thrown it to the other receiver.
Well, actually, he had both Andersons, Jaron Anderson, number 10, and Lasante Anderson downfield, but he decided to go to Lasante Anderson, but knocked away.
You know who I don't see out there for the gold right now is Derek Knight.
Yeah, I have not seen number 0.
And he's one of
Yeah.
Reeves' favorite receivers.
Of course, that was cool case Justin Shepard on the coverage downfield with Lasante Anderson. Yeah, I even like the gold graphics on the scoreboard on our screen here. That's very nice done by our production crew. Very nice. All right, 3rd and 9. Reeves, pressure coming, and he's got a man,
Got a man open.
Caught. And that's caught by Montrell Smith, number 3, for a first down. And now the Gold are in stealth territory. Nice play there by Reeves to keep the play alive, getting some movement. And Smith just finding a soft spot in the zone, making the catch.
Is it just me, or is Reeves playing with a lot more confidence?
He is.
I know you said that a little bit earlier that the team is.
Yes.
But when your quarterback is out there and he knows where to go with the ball, it makes things much easier.
Well, you've played this game, and you know this as well as anybody. When the quarterback has confidence, it spreads out throughout the whole team.
For sure, because you're delivering the ball on time. He did not look like that was a late pass across the middle. I actually liked it.
Yeah. Almost looked like it was actually designed that way.
Yes.
All right. Just inside midfield from about the 48-yard line, the stealth on the goal on their first possession. Reeves back to throw, empty backfield, looking, steps in the pocket, goes left,
Taking
and
off.
He's got some more running room. Slide to the 40. Cool case was coming hot, but slowed down. But nonetheless, a nice gain on first down by Jeremiah Reeves, who joined us on the other side of the ball a couple of weeks ago. And just when he was up here, you saw the emotions as he really wore it on his sleeve for those 3 years. And the Gold putting together a very impressive first drive here, which has taken up almost half the quarter at the 9-minute mark. 6 minutes this drive has taken here in this first quarter.
And they just need 3 yards to continue this drive. Nice handoff, but it looks like they got it
It's going
clogged up.
backwards.
Yep.
The Ramseys, among others, for the stealth, making the stop.
The only thing that I see with the Gold right now is still the tough part for them to run is the A-B gaps.
Yeah.
They just aren't there for them to run the ball up the middle.
Well, we have not seen Marlon Thomas, number 8, who is very versatile in the backfield for the Gold. Right now it's Calvin Deloney alongside Reeves in the backfield. 3rd down and 4.
If
Back
Case
to throw.
is coming.
Reeves. Ooh.
Oh. He had a pump fake. I think he should have went ahead and let that ball go because Delaney looked like he was open down the sideline.
Yeah, but we got a stealth injury player down. I don't know if that's cool case or not.
I can't tell. I don't think so. But let's take a look, and I'm looking around. It might be.
Trying to look on the screen here.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Very hard to tell.
So players are taking a knee at the 8:05 mark. Gold on their first possession now face a 4th down decision. They're in plus territory. Makes you wonder they might go for it, or they might try to pin the Gold deep in their own territory.
My guess is they're going for it.
Pin the stealth deep in their own territory. I beg your pardon. And
Is it Cool Case? I
Yeah,
can't see.
that's the 13. That's Cool Case. That's Shep. Oh, wait a minute.
That is not
That's not
Shep,
Shep.
but it is his
He's
number.
wearing his number. Actually, I don't see Shep on the sideline.
Yeah, now that you say that, I was going to say Shep isn't that tall.
No.
And thin.
No, not at all. All right, so the goal they're going to go for, they got to get to the 43-yard line for a first down. Reeves rolling out. Dump pass caught by Lasante Anderson, but he's going nowhere. He's short of the first down. Great tackle by the Stealth, and the Stealth defense holds him down. And that looks like it was Keith Ramsey.
It was.
Making the stop.
Should we be surprised?
No, not at all.
A Ramsey making a play.
A Ramsey making a play, you don't say. All right, so the Stealth will take over on downs. Good-looking drive for the goal. They got into plus territory but could not advance further. Now the Stealth with their first possession. And is that G Hurt at quarterback? It is.
Like
It is the mighty Titanium with two backs in the backfield.
I'm looking for a run here.
And that is Cool Case. Now that's Justin Cool Case Shepard. And Shep down the sideline. Shep knocked out of
10.
bounds. A nice game for the Stealth on first down.
We got a penalty flag, so we
But
got
wait
cheating. It's
a
coming
minute.
back.
It is coming back.
Long run was for nothing.
All for naught.
Can't grab a guy by the jersey,
No, that would apply as cheating for sure.
especially when he gets outside the body.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be a hold on the offense, moving back 10 yards.
So it's one of those situations where you're trying to block a man, and he is able to break contain, and then you pull him back into you to try to hold him from getting around the corner. Had he gotten free, he might have been able to make that play.
All right, here we go.
So we got first down and 20.
G Hurt still in at quarterback. And it's a game back to Shep. And Shep gets inside the 40.
Looks like he's got 6 yards.
Make
back.
it down 2nd and 14 for the Stealth. And, of course, the one thing, as we always say, penalties are, like in baseball, they are a rally killer.
Big time.
Especially when you have a nice, productive run like Shep did on that first play for the Stealth. Now, this is a very big game as far as seeding implications go here in Nevada. As right now, the Stealth are the 3 seed. Obviously, we know who the first two are, the Insomniacs and Sickwidit. But, I mean, for these two, the Stealth coming in at 2-2, the Gold coming in at 1-3. If the Gold win this game, that really puts a long jam for the 3rd slot.
Yep. Oh,
Gave back to Shep, a delay handoff, kind of a stumble, but he gets around, and a nice stiff arm, knocked out of bounds,
So
and
he's
this
got
sets up a 3rd down for the Stealth.
3rd down and 10. So back to the original line of scrimmage.
The original line of scrimmage, yes. They got to get to the 45 for a first down, as we are nearing 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Again, a very rare 9:30 in the... Well, some of us are just now getting here, setting up around this time on a normal A7FL Sunday. Our second game will be at 12:30 between the Hunters and Sickwidit. All right, 5.5 to go. And G Hurd's going to throw it. He's now going to run with it. Avoiding defenders, still on his feet, gets the 50.
Yeah, he stepped out of that tackle.
Yeah, he did. The Gold had a chance to put him back for a yardage loss, but nonetheless, the Gold brings him down at midfield.
And we're going to have a quarterback change.
And now James St. Patrick is in what appears to be at quarterback, as it looks like the Stealth are going to go for it here on 4th down.
I mean, 4th and 5. It's and you're on the 50-yard line.
Yeah,
If they
right
don't-
there.
Yep. And if they don't make it, realistically, you know, it's not the worst.
No, it's not. But if you got to play here, you got to make sure it's the right play to keep this drive alive.
It's going to be a handoff. I was going to say that was a
Jay
gimme.
Juggin tripped up and he's short. And
That was Mr. Brandon
Socorro, big 69 with the stop. And so both defenses make 4th down stops. And now it is the Gold that will get possession at the 48-yard line at the 4:26 mark. As we hear a helicopter, and we see it actually in our peripheral vision.
Ghetto bird.
Not exactly the Thunderbirds during the air show a couple of weeks ago.
No. We got a player down on the sidelines.
All right. From the 48-yard line, stealth. And that is Marlon Thomas in the backfield, number 8. Reeves will put it up. Slant.
Oh.
Incomplete. He was looking for Ricky Figueroa.
Was that JoJo?
It looked like another. Oh, let's see. Was that 23?
No, I think it was 28. I think it was Boone.
Oh, Mr. Nigel Boone.
Yep. Peasy.
Yes, indeed. Always around the ball, trying to make
got
a
a
play.
knack for it.
He does. He is a ball hawk. All right, second down with 3:47 to go. Again, Anthony Alvarez, Chris Vera, top of the morning to you from the entertainment capital of the world. Some of us still waking up. And that is Marlon Thomas. And great pursuit by Ronald Gaither, who initiated the contact. And he lost a yard or two.
Yeah.
Great pursuit again by Ronald Gaither that made the initial contact.
They are playing this correctly, but I think that Gold, the only reason why they're having so many problems is their plays are obvious.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to do a little bit more disguising. I think a little play action here would work really well for them, but they're going empty backfield.
All right. They got to get to the 42 for a first down on this 3rd and 12. And we got a whistle.
No, I was just telling the offensive line to move up.
Empty backfield. They got trips on the near side. Reeves to throw. Rolling out to his right. He's got a lane, and he's going to take it. And he might have the first down, and he does.
I don't know. He might have stepped out of bounds just a
early?
little bit too early.
No, first down.
Nope, they're giving it to him.
First down, Jeremiah Reeves on a 3rd and 12.
But I mean, he stepped out of bounds right at the line.
Right at the marker.
So if he wasn't paying attention, and he stepped out just a half a yard earlier. It would have been
if that was going to be a measurement per se. All right, 2:15 to go here in this first period. The Gold on the move again, and Reeves, he didn't even decide it. Once he saw the lane open, he took it. All right.
Well, and this is what I was saying keeps the stealth honest.
Yeah.
It makes it hard for them to pin the ears back and come after him, especially when he could get out around the corner.
Yeah. All right. 1:51 to go here. Ball right at the 42-yard line. Gold in plus territory yet again, but now can they turn this into points? Again, trips on the near side. Reeves going deep. He had Smith, but just too much mustard on the hot dog, and it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
He's got to put a little bit more air under that.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah,
I
agree.
In my case, that's 2 touchdowns that he's missed today, unfortunately.
I'm sure if he sees the film, he'll probably be mad at himself.
I'm sure too.
All right, minute 13 to go and counting. The Gold have showed some great promise on their first 2 drives, but trying to turn this one into points.
Their offense has actually looked better than the Stealths has so far.
Yeah. Empty backfield. Reeves
Nice.
gets
Good
away
move.
from Gaither. Passes caught by Marlon Thomas. And number 13 in Marlon Thomas showing some physicality on that play.
Yeah. He got his number 13, so we know that it's not Shep.
No, he's
Shep
wearing
is wearing 10. I'm not sure who that is. Might at halftime I'll see if I can't get that number.
All right. 25 seconds to go. This might be the last play of the first quarter bearing a defensive penalty. If they decide to just let the play out and just let the play clock run out and just, or the game clock and go to the second quarter, but we'll see.
I don't think so. I think they're trying to, he's trying to get people, Reeves is trying to get people lined up and get things going.
All right, 9 seconds. Here we go. And it looks like they're just going to let the clock run out and go to the second quarter. And they will.
Yep.
So after one period of play here at Matter Academy East, Gold on the move, but it is a scoreless game, 0-0 between the Silver State Stealth And the Las Vegas Gold. Again, Anthony Alvarez here alongside Chris Vera. Glad you're with us here on A7FL.TV. I know it's a little earlier start than normal for us here in the entertainment capital of the world, but if you're joining us here, we appreciate it. Obviously, the East Coast is about to get started in 8 minutes. We got the Hawks taking on the Animals. Interesting to see how the Animals will bounce back after taking their first defeat a couple of weeks ago at the hands of the BS. Back at 500, looking to build off of that momentum. We do know the Patterson U is in Cincinnati taking on the Crush. And we also know that the other matchup, if you will, is also if the schedule will show itself. Thank you very much. The other matchup is the Heathens, also in Cincinnati, taking on the Octane. So it's the Crush and the U, Octane, and the Heathens in Cincinnati. And the only game in Asbury Park today is the Animals taking on the Hawks. Hawks, Animals, Heathens, Octane. That will get together momentarily. Oh, never mind. There's been a forfeit, I think. Okay. So
Forfeit from who?
I think between the U and the Crush, because it has a 2-0 score on the website as we speak.
Yeah, might have been a safety.
Could be. All right. Reeves back to throw. Rolling out to his right. He's got another open lane. He's going to take it, and Reeves is right at the sticks.
No, he held that ball out. That should be a first down.
That is a first down. I'll tell you what, Reeves is not hesitating. If he sees the open lane, he's taking
gone.
First and 10 for the goal.
All right.
Which is something he needs to do, and I'm glad he's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing, the great quarterbacks always seem to find a way to keep the play alive and keep it open. But then sometimes, if the lane is there, by all means, if it's there, take it.
Without shadow of a doubt. Anything you could do to keep the chains moving.
Yes. All right, the goal now in deep plus territory as the ball is at the 30, looks like to be the 32-yard line. As the goal trying to get points here on their second possession after both defenses held the respective offenses to turnover on downs. And it's Robert Magdaleno.
Ooh, good hit.
Somebody was coming in hot. But Magdaleno gets a nice gain, gets to the 20, or gets the 30-yard line.
Yep.
So a gain of 2 makes it down, second down and 8. Again, this is a very important game for seeding. Like I said, as of right now, as it stands with their 2-2 record, the Stealth are in the 3rd slot. But if the Gold can get to the same identical 2-3 record with the Stealth, that certainly will open up a lot of things here with the records.
I would say, they're playing man. I would take a shot if I was the Gold right now coming across the field. They're playing man up. Safety's not paying attention. He's looking and paying attention
Reeves
to the quarterback.
Looking over the middle.
Nice catch.
Nice catch.
Tried to stick his foot in the ground. His foot just went out from underneath of him. Hopefully that wasn't too bad.
That is Ricky Figueroa making the catch right in front of Robert Ramsey.
And you saw Ramsey go up for it too.
Yeah. He thought he had it.
Yep.
And then Figueroa said, no
I can climb this ladder.
No soup for you. All right. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Sets up 3rd down and 2.
Somebody with an import car alarm is going off in the parking lot.
Somebody check your alarm. Make sure your car's okay.
It's a Tonka truck. Anyway.
Matchbox.
Yep.
All right. 3rd and 2. For the Gold. Deep in the Stealth's territory. Figueroa, Deloney, and it looks like Smith. Deloney comes in motion.
Lane's going to be open.
And Reeves is going to take it, cuts inside. Nice job by Reeves.
I don't know if he got there.
We will check the mark.
Yep, he
first
got it.
down Gold. As the chains move again for the Las Vegas Gold, I'll tell you what, the Gold is building some momentum. They've had momentum on all 3 drives, but this is obviously their best drive of the day so far.
I'll tell you what, the way they're looking right now, it's one of those situations where they feel like they can compete against anybody.
Well, again, as you said, when you finally get that first win, and even my broadcast partner Mizzle talked about this, when you get your first win and you finally get a taste of that, you want more.
Oh, of course.
All right. 11-12 to go here in the first half scoreless, but the Gold are on the move. Again, they got 2 wide receivers. Lasante Anderson comes in motion to give to Calvin Deloney. Deloney to the left side, and Calvin Deloney has the corner.
Touchdown.
No
That's
signal
touchdown.
yet, and yes, it is a touchdown for Calvin Deloney. And the Las Vegas Gold find the end zone first to take a 6-0 lead.
Man, happy for them. And that play looked fantastic the way they ran it. Deloney had the lane the whole way.
Just followed his blocks.
Yep, just outran everybody.
And very rarely do you see Robert Randall.
I'm not sure why the Stealth took a timeout because the clock stops.
It's an on-time down, yeah.
On-time down.
I don't get it either.
And it's not like they have people coming in and coming out.
Or maybe are they asking for a review?
I think that they're probably asking for a review.
Oh, I see. All right.
Because it was on the near sideline.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of our cameras probably caught that, but
it is a challenge officially. So it is officially a challenge. The Stealth are challenging to see if Stealth or if Deloney did not get in.
I don't think he stepped out though. When you're watching it, it's hard.
Oh, Lord,
I
ads.
love the ads, especially when you go backwards on
right
on YouTube.
Oh, lovely.
Just irritate the hell out of you. But
Okay.
if you go back on
Let's
that,
try
I
this
don't
again.
think it's hard to tell because the only spot that you got is when he's actually going in.
Yeah.
Watch when he goes actually in.
I don't think he's out of
I don't think he
bounds.
stepped out.
Jane, you should have switched on that play.
I don't think he stepped on the line.
I don't
Hard
think
for us
yeah.
to tell, but I don't think he did.
You should have switched on that. If Mel was over there, I don't know if he was.
Yeah, from the naked eye, he's in.
Yes,
Breaking up.
That's,
100%.
That's what I'm seeing. But, you know, I'm just a play-by-play guy, not a...
Right there is the only place that I could see where he might have stepped out, and I don't think he did.
But the referee had a view. He was right there.
Yes.
So, again, from our perspective, if we were...
You don't think he stepped out?
No.
Stepped out at the one. I don't think he stepped out at the one for me.
It's hard for us to see, but it didn't look like it right there. It looks like it's good. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in slow mo.
Saying we're just play-by-play guys.
Yeah, it's starting to like slow.
Again, taking another look at it here. Again, from the vantage point up here to me. Now, again, this is just watching it live. I don't think Calvin Deloney stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line. As we're looking at it again on the screen, I don't see his cleats touching the white line. I mean, well, worst case scenario for the Gold, it's 1st and goal at the 1 because he did get the first down. But again, just looking at it, I don't think Calvin Deloney stepped out of bounds. I don't see his feet anywhere near the sidelines.
The call on the field stands.
And the call is confirmed. It is a touchdown. It will stand for Calvin Deloney. Again, just looking at it from the naked eye perspective, I don't think he stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line, so it will count. And the Stealth are going to go for 1 at the 5 to try to make this 7-0. Marlon Thomas in the backfield. Anderson comes in motion. Rolling out to his right. Reeves will not get the conversion, as, of course, go figure, Robert Ramsey makes a play.
Well, it's very hard for a right-handed quarterback to roll right.
Yeah.
And try to, unless there's something right in front of him.
Yeah. Well, at the 10:54 mark, it is the Gold 6. The Stealth nothing. And eventually that will show on the scoreboard eventually.
Yeah, we'll get the scoreboard operator to change that score.
Well, at least on the screen for our viewers on A7FL TV, at least you see it. It's 6-0 Gold.
6-0.
With 10:54 to go.
The most exciting play in all sports.
All right. Trying to see who is out there returning for the Stealth. That looks like JoJo Ramsey. No, that's not JoJo. He's on the sideline, so that's not JoJo Ramsey.
I believe it's Keith Ramsey. I can't tell with the shades.
6-0.
And no, that is not Keith Ramsey either. All Ramseys are on the sideline.
Did you say all Ramses?
Yes.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
Well, that could be JoJo. I'm not sure. But
I can't
it's not Keith. It's not Robert for sure.
Yeah, because they're both down here. 23 I don't see right now.
It has to be JoJo on the field, and it looks like it is.
Yep.
JoJo Ramsey.
Oh, wow. You see how quick he got up from that slip, though?
Yeah.
He bounced off the ground and was right back on his feet.
JoJo Ramsey on the return slips. And there's the hardest working man in sports, Mel Carey, giving you some great camera views.
As usual.
Of the huddle, of the players. And, of course, we appreciate Steve Ashmore of Ashmore Media doing his thing as he always does. And the rest of our other production camera and crew. Even good to see, well, he was here for a second. I don't know where he went, but Mr. Thomas, Mr. Pierce Thomas.
He went downstairs. I don't know what for.
Maybe to grab some more equipment, I guess.
Possibly.
All right, G. Hurt still on the quarterback. And that's a give to Shepard and Cool Case across the 30,
Nice
35, 40, 45.
He's
knocked
pushed
out
out
of
of
bounds
bounds.
around the 47, 48-yard line.
49.
At the 49. First down. Stealth as Cool Case is, well, I'll tell you what. We knew he could play defense.
Yes, we did.
But him actually being utilized as a running back has been very impressive and been very fun to watch.
That was his original spot.
Yeah. But he just wasn't utilized in that position on the team that he was previously with.
Correct.
And the Stealth have definitely used him to his...
to the advantage?
To the advantage, absolutely.
Yeah. He is showing his worth.
Yes, he is. 9:44 to go here in the first half. 6-0 going on a Calvin Deloney 20-yard touchdown run from the 49-yard line, empty backfield. G. Hurd looking to throw. Takes a shot deep. And it's picked off.
Nice pick. He's fighting. Oh, they're going to call him out of bounds?
Call him out of bounds.
Or maybe the fact that his forward progress was stopped.
Trying to see who that was. Then that is Montrell Smith, number 3, that makes the pick.
He looked more like the wide receiver on that one.
Yeah, he did. He played it perfectly. And the goal forced a turnover. Well, I mean, on this aspect, yes, you throw an interception, but in hindsight, now the goal have to drive 90 yards as the ball is at the 10-yard line. However, the goal defense forcing a turnover. And now we will see if they can...
See if they can take advantage of this. I mean, look, it's going to be in their best interest out this pick.
Now that's a very messed up situation for that young man.
I heard about that, but I think that this is going to be a situation where if they can either score on this possession,
yes,
or at the very least eat up most of this clock,
yeah,
it should be interesting.
Well, as we know, the Stealth will get the ball to start the second half.
Let's see what
in the backfield.
Handoff.
That's Anderson.
Around the corner.
Anderson
delivers a hit.
Out the do-rag. Gets a nice gain of about 8 or 9 yards. Sets about 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2 for the goal.
Yep.
Gain of 8 with nearing the 9-minute mark to go here in the first half. Again, Anthony Alvarez.
Oh, we got an injury.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he looks like he's running okay now.
All
is that JoJo?
Yeah.
When he turns around, looks like
that's
yep,
23. That's JoJo Ramsey.
I wonder if he got cleated, stepped on. That hurts like hell.
Again, Anthony Alvarez. Well, I've been spiked into sliding into second base playing baseball, so I mean, it's getting stepped on by a cleat or a spike is not exactly the greatest feeling in the world. I agree with you. All right.
Jump around.
8.5 to go in the first half. Anderson in the backfield. Fake. Reeves looking, throwing.
Oh, catches his own pass.
Off the deflection. And he lost the ball, and the Stealth have it.
Wow.
That was a wild sequence.
That's one of those. The thing about it is he holds after he catches it. You'll
holds
see
the
him
ball
hold
in
the
the
ball
air.
out,
Yeah.
and that's where the ball was taken away from him.
Wow. That's.
Wow.
Well, if you are the Stealth, you've got to take advantage of this because you are in very, very plus territory.
You, in this case, they need to put this ball in the end zone.
They do.
You got 8 minutes and 16 seconds to go. You need to put this ball in the end zone and tie up this game.
At worst.
Yep.
Valu, number 88, Atu Valu Jr. Yeah. And the big man just took it away. Big
did.
99 just took it away. Big Antoine Davis.
Handoff up the middle.
And that is Shepard. Gets tackled to the 10-yard line. Calvin Deloney making a nice tackle at the 10.
Deloney is roaming around in that as a linebacker.
Yeah.
He is making plays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we always say about certain guys, they're just football players.
They just have a knack for the ball.
Yes, they do. All right. 8:16 and counting to go here in the first half. Don't know why the clock's not running.
I don't know either.
All right.
So here we go.
James St. Patrick running. Avoids a sack. Trying to put it up. Throws it. Nearly intercepted. Incomplete. And now it is 3rd and 5 for the Stealth here.
Okay, Derek, clock's not running. Thank you.
All right. So let's see, what is it? 3rd down?
3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
All right. 6:20 to go now here in the first half.
So we have 3rd and 5.
Shepard in the backfield. He gets the carry. Shep to the
Got
corner.
the corner.
Shep.
First down, touchdown. Oh, hold on. There we go. We got it on one side.
Touchdown Stealth. Justin Cool K. Shepard on a 3rd and 5. Takes it left. Avoids a tackle. Gets in the end zone. And we are tied at 6. With 6:02 to go here in the first half. So again, both teams getting in the end zone. And now the Stealth will go for one to try to take a 1-point lead, 7-6. Well, I'll tell you what, Justin Shepard has been running the ball very effectively here in this early morning game here at Matter Academy.
That he has.
All right, it is still James St. Patrick, a quarterback. It is Big G Hurd and Javion Michael. It is G Hurd, the Titanium. The Titanium still on his
Keeping him out.
feet.
Ball's on the
ground.
Can't do anything with it.
Can't return it.
Oh, somebody picked it up, though.
Wait a minute.
No whistle. Yeah,
No whistle.
there we go.
There we go. All right. So at 6 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in this first half. Very competitive game. We are even at 6 apiece. Again, here at Matter Academy East, Anthony Alvarez alongside my broadcast colleague and my good buddy, Mr. Chris Vera. Glad you are with us here on A7FL.tv as
we got a tied score.
Tied score here between the Gold and the Stealth. And right now, the Animals and the Hawks. The battle between David Tinder and Corey Hammond getting set to get underway in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And of course, we have the Heathens taking on the Octane in Cincinnati.
You guys have replay down there. I'd rather you make the call, tell me, so I don't have to get off my screen.
All right.
So just
Deloney.
from the booth, you tell me,
Drop the ball,
and then I will.
and it goes out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
You got it. Okay. Was it big enough where you saw something different down here where you a better screen would work?
Yours was better because I could see it in slow motion.
Okay.
So that was better.
So you can switch this one.
Yeah,
Your
well,
phone, too.
we got it on his computer, so we'll play it back if
Yeah, so
we do
you top
slow
left,
motion.
you got a 0.25, increase the thing to.
Ball to start the second half kickoff, or throw off. We don't do kicks in the A7FL.
I know it's hard to switch back and forth, especially after watching the draft for the last 2 days.
Well, yeah. Hopefully your team drafted well for those that cheer.
My team drafted all right. Still
All
need
right.
a wide receiver.
So I've just been informed by our colleagues JP and Mizzle and Reeves going deep. He's got Smith. Smith got it inside the 50.
if he didn't have to wait for that,
He would have scored.
oh, that would have been a touchdown.
But nonetheless, Montrell Smith, who's having a very good first half for the Gold, makes a tremendous catch.
Ooh, man. I don't know if you could do much better.
Not at all.
The only thing that I could say with
I can do slow mo
yeah.
also. Okay, all right.
So all I could say is with Reeves, if he puts that on more on the line, that's a touchdown.
I agree, but nonetheless,
Man wide open.
But nonetheless, they're in plus territory. Here's Reeves looking, rolling out, and he's going to take another shot downfield.
Just
Incomplete.
over his head.
He was intended for Julian Newman, number 18. He was the intended receiver. Sets up second down and 10, but the Gold on the move again. They're in stealth territory. But again, just the Gold playing solid. But again, our thanks to JP and Mizzle from the All-Pro Joffos and the Mizzle and Dub Show for giving us some updating.
What'd they say? I missed that.
Tinder is not playing for the Animals against the Hawks.
Oh, really? Is he injured?
Well, I mean, he did get hurt against the BIC a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. You got guys offsides.
And we have some cheating.
Yep, it's going to be
We got
false
some
start.
mustard on the grass, false start on the goal, back him up 5 yards. So now it'll be 2nd and 15.
That would be on Mr. Figueroa. He was lined up offsides. And the referee and his teammates were telling him to back up.
Well, Miz will take any kind of A7 football early in the morning if it's possible for you.
I know I would. Anytime I get to watch football, I'm having fun.
Indeed.
And a good day.
All right. 3:54 to go. First half, 6-6 between the Stealth and the Gold. Ball spotted back now to the Gold 49-yard line. Empty backfield. Reeves back to throw. Rolling out to his right. Looking.
He's got a man
going
open.
Downfield.
Out of bounds.
Keith
No good.
Ramsey picks it up, but he's out of bounds. And again, Lasante Anderson was the intended receiver. But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as good old Mean Gene Oakland used to say. All right. 3:23 and counting. Again, the Stealth will get the ball.
We got a timeout.
And the Gold will take a timeout. They have, so each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Oh, I'm sorry. The Gold have 2, the Stealth have 3 because it was, well, they lost a timeout because it was a challenge. So they each have 2. Gold have a timeout, 2 remaining here in the first half. Each team with 2. Now again, the Stealth will receive the second half possession.
Well, that just kind of paints out how imperative it is right now for the Gold to either take the time off the clock or get a touchdown.
I agree.
So we'll see what they come out with after this timeout. Obviously, they're talking about something on the sidelines. They're seeing something in the Stealth defense.
Agreed.
So here we go, coming back out. Where's the ball spot? Is it 49?
It's the 49-yard line.
Gotcha.
It's the Gold's 49.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking for the puck, and I don't see it, but I see they put it on the hash mark.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's white as well, so it's very hard to see.
Yeah. It's not orange like Preston normally has it.
Yeah. Preston's being orange, you could actually see what's going on a little bit better.
But then there's Will Franklin with the Frisbee, if you will. All right. 3 minutes and counting to go here in the first half. 6-6 tie. Calvin Deloney a touchdown run. Justin Cool Case Shepard a touchdown run. So it's been the running game that's found the end zone for both squads. Empty backfield. Reeves stepping up. He's going to take off. No, he's not.
Fumbled the ball. Ball's recovered. We got a flag,
late
though.
flag, however. Robert Ramsey forced the fumble, but we'll check the penalty.
Yeah, we got
Personal
2
foul.
guys. We got 2 guys down. Reeves is down,
It is a horse collar against the Stealth, so the Gold will keep possession.
And it's going to be a first down.
It is. It's going to keep the drive alive for the Gold.
So we'll see, because that the thing about it is that just kills the Stealth as far as I'm concerned. The reason why I say that isn't because I'm being negative. It's because you've got to be careful with your with the way you do things.
I agree.
Mainly because when you keep drives alive and you have a team, even though you might think the team's not as good as you, you're basically keeping them in the game.
All right. 2 minutes and 33 seconds and counting to go here in the first half. It is 6-6 tie, but with the penalty, the Gold now are in Stealth territory.
Is this a new quarterback? We got a new quarterback.
It is Lasante Anderson. While Reeves is trying to get himself back together. Deloney in the backfield. Of course, Lasante Anderson is left-handed, so the trajectory of the ball will come out a little bit different.
You got a false start.
False start. I think Montrell Smith went too early.
No, I think it was Calvin Deloney.
You think it was Calvin Deloney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Montrell was already in motion. Calvin Deloney started. Can't have two guys in motion.
Nope. Now, you could if you were playing in the CFL.
And you can if you're playing arena.
Yes.
But this is neither.
This is neither. Yes. This is the A7. All right. So make it make it 1st and 15 now.
Correct.
At the 40. The Gold are still in stealth territory, and this might be the last play before the 2-minute warning if they don't get the play off. And
they do.
They get it off. Anderson will keep it. Anderson gets the penalty yards back.
And plus. So he's got, it's going to be 3rd down or 2nd down and 9.
So that takes us to the 2-minute warning here at Matter Academy East. As the Gold and the Stealth in a dogfight, if you will. It is 6-6. Oh, you gotta love ads.
I get the ads, but not during a play.
I understand. I understand.
It's not like it just turned it on either.
Right? That part. All right.
The full dream team is here, guys. Wow.
It is 10:19 in the morning here in Las Vegas, and we're nearing halftime of our first game. You gotta love it. But nonetheless, Anthony Alvarez, Chris Vera, glad you're with us here on A7FL.TV as we got a good one going between the Stealth and the Gold.
It makes for an early day. Does that mean we're going to do our wrap-up show? You guys going to do the wrap-up show early?
Well, Mrs. I go to work.
I'll be on the wrap-up show with you today.
Well, I got to go home and take a nap because I got to go to work at 7.
So take a quick one.
All right, Deloney in the backfield.
Steps up like he's going to block.
Anderson.
Good release.
Going to run. Anderson.
Good pump fake.
Gets inside the 30.
Yep.
And the clock continues to run. And now, see, this is what I is what I like.
Yes.
No huddle. Let's go. I've been begging for this for 3.5 years.
Love it. Now you got Cool Case in and out. Snap the ball. Catch him on the field.
All right. 3rd down and 3. Anderson will take the snap. Looking to throw. Slant caught.
Oh, that's
Figueroa.
to the face.
1st down.
That's a penalty flag. That was directly to the face.
Yeah, and it just came in late.
Yep.
Just came in late.
Can't go to the head or face when you're tackling.
However, it is a 1st down as Ricky Figueroa makes the catch. Now, Chris, you've played wide receiver, and you have taken throws from a lefty and a righty. What's the difference when trying to catch a ball from a right-handed thrower as opposed to a left-handed thrower?
Righties tend to take off. The ball tends to sail on them. Lefties, the ball tends to dip.
So, does that alter your route running also?
It doesn't alter your route running, but it does alter your what we consider the stop hand. And the lefty that I used to take passes from threw the ball way harder than
caught! Figueroa, touchdown!
Touchdown.
Gold! So it's Lasante Anderson on the slant that finds Ricky Figueroa.
I'm going to have to tell Jeremiah he's got to start paying me. No more free coaching. He's going to have to pay me.
1:16 to go here in the first half. And with the penalty that gave the Gold life, Lasante Anderson throws a slant to Ricky Figueroa and gets it in for the touchdown, and the Gold retake the lead. And looks like they're going to go for 2 at the 10 to try to make this an 8-point advantage, nearing halftime here.
And just for those of you who are listening, Silk City Animals has scored, got the extra point. It is 8-0 right now.
I'm pretty sure Miz will text me, and I didn't read the text.
No, I watched the touchdown pass. It was actually a really good pass to the back of the end zone.
Who's playing quarterback for the Animals?
I did not catch that. I'm trying to.
All
see
right.
Corey walking out right now to play.
Mr. Hammond.
Yep, playing QB for his team.
All right.
So let's see what we got going on. Oh,
Deloney in the
delay
backfield,
game.
and we have a delay a game.
Yep.
So it'll go for 2 at the 15 now. So Ricky Figueroa on a slant regained the lead with 76 seconds. And for those that don't know, that's a minute 16. If you don't know your mathematics.
If you don't know your times.
That too. And your mathematics.
Right?
All right. I'm trying to see who that is returning back there.
Let me see if I can get a number for us. These guys have such small numbers on their left side of their shoulders.
Is that LaKendrick Phillip? No, that's not. That's not LaKendrick. He's on the sideline. All right.
Can't see the number. We'll see it once he starts.
That might be Keith Ramsey.
Got the bounce. Fumbles it a little bit.
That is Keith Ramsey. No, it's not Keith Ramsey. That's somebody else. Oh, that's Hornbeak. That's Jaleel Hornbeak. And Hornbeak makes another man miss. Jaleel Hornbeak inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Jaleel Hornbeak.
He gets up holding his shoulder, which is a little concerning.
The Phantom gets the Stealth a great field possession. Well, I'll tell you what. Doesn't matter who they've been playing. Jaleel Hornbeak has shown you why he is a very versatile player in this league all season long.
100%. And a very important player for the Stealth.
He is a very important Swiss Army knife for the Stealth, doing a lot of things. Be it returning, be it in the backfield. It is Michael and Shep in the backfield along with G. Hurd. It is Cool Case. Shep up the middle.
Ooh, nice tackle.
Yeah, nice tackle there. As Jeffrey Jackson
and they're going,
almost gave him the spine buster.
I think they're going, oh, no, I was going to say, I thought they were going no
It
huddle.
looked that way.
Muddle huddle.
Yeah, well, you got 3 timeouts to the Stealth. The Gold have 2. Again, Stealth will get second half possession. Trying to, at worst, tie this game up here. Again, G. Hurd with Shep in the backfield.
Man in motion.
G. Hurd looking to throw. Has a man
wide open. Oh, and he dropped the ball.
Oh!
I don't know what happened on that one.
Was that Ronald Gaither?
It sure looked like it, and he was waiting for that pass forever.
Yeah, and Ronald Gaither is as sure-handed as they come.
Well,
yeah, Ronald Gaither was all by his lonesome, and he just took his eye off the ball. And like I said, Ronald Gaither does not drop that.
not on the norm.
Wow.
He does not.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Wow was right.
That's why they say this game can do a lot of stuff to you.
Oh, yes, it can. As Chris is trying to catch the wire, the HDMI cable. 34 seconds to go. 3rd and 5. G. Hurd to throw again. Throwing. Pass.
Caught. Touchdown.
Stealth.
Now, isn't that weird? What did I say? I said that the quick slants are open for both teams. You're playing with no safety,
And
there's
there it
nobody
is.
in the middle to stop those.
Trying to see who made the catch because there's a lot of dreads on that on that player.
Let me see if I can
Get a number.
Is he still on the field, or is he walking?
He's
off the
walking
camp?
towards the sideline.
Yep, and he's got his dreads covering the front and the back.
Yeah, boy.
God, I wish I could remember his number.
I want to say he's 14, but don't hold me to it.
Well, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit.
Well, right now we're tied at 12.
Try to get you a name and number here in a minute.
His dreads is covering the side. His dreads is covering the back.
And we got a fake.
And G. Hurd is
in.
in for the conversion.
Ooh, he's going to get
And
a
a
penalty.
late flag. Was that for 2?
Yes.
That was for 2, and it's at the moment it's 14-12. Okay, it's 14.
14, which you were correct.
Martell Riles.
And after that 2-point try, it was 12-12, Stealth in the gold. And folks, if you want to see this whole game, if you're watching right now on Fox Soul, don't worry. You can watch it on A7FL.tv or head on over to the A7FL YouTube channel, maybe even right now, and you can watch the entirety of this game, see if the gold or the Stealth would walk out with the W. But folks, we are near closing time here on the A7FL Games of the Week. Next week, it's the final week of the regular season. The Watchmen will be taking on the BIC. You do not want to miss what will set up the top seeds in the East. Will the BIC walk out of this season undefeated? Can the Watchmen play spoiler? What will happen with the Eastern Conference regular season championship on the line? Me, Big Rob, and Corey will find that out for you as we're on our last ride heading into June 22nd. For all of us here at the A7FL, I'm Matt Ryan saying so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye on the A7FL Games of the Week.